I bet 3,000 yen. I think you're bluffing. See you 3,000 yen and raise you 5,000 yen. I've had enough. I go to bed. Good night.
God.
Yeah. While we're out having a blast, why, he's left over here all alone as usual. I wouldn't blame the guy for going stir crazy.
Well, Skip, I hate to interject, but prisoners of war can't go to parties.
That's right. You can't go to a party. But, is there anything wrong in us bringing him one?
That's a great idea, Skip. Why don't we give him an authentic Japanese tea party with all the trimmings? Authentic costumes, food, the works.
Hey, that's wild, huh?
Fun.
Before that gritty little mind of yours starts working, this is going to be at cost, right?
Oh, of course, Skip. Food's just one of us. Family rates.
It's supposed to be a surprise. You don't want Fuji to hear, do you?
Yeah, you guys heard the skipper?
Hush. Move on.
You that I'm having headaches and I keep having nightmares and you keep taking my blood pressure.
Will you be quiet for a minute?
I didn't come in here for a physical. I don't want a physical. I just want some of those blue pills. Give me some of the blue pills.
Blue pills are not going to help you, Wally. Now, you're past due for a leave. Why don't you take a week off and go to New Caledonia?
Oh, how can I go away and let the base be at the mercy of McHale and his bell-bottom Dillingers?
Sir!
Ow! Yeah, look what you did. You always have to salute. I hate a square lieutenant. Look what you did now. You made it go up.
I'm sorry to interrupt, sir, but I have a theft to report. We just took warehouse inventory, sir, and we are missing 12 parachutes, 2 sides of pork, 10 pounds of tea, and 40 pounds of rice.
Oh, I know. You want me to take a leave. I'll take a leave. You hear that? You know who that is? That's McHale. Let's go.
Now, wait just a minute. I'm not through yet.
You'll have to go with us.
Voila! One authentic Japanese kimono made with American know-how.
I think we got too much parachute, Skip.
Yeah, maybe you ought to take up a little bit on the ripcord, huh?
Hey, Group, can you do something about these sleeves? I hear they're wearing them shorter this year.
Complaints. How can an artiste work under all these pressures? Really, snip it off, will you?
Come on, not with me in it. And I wanted hemstitch.
Hey, Chuck, how you doing?
Oh, Ohio. Ikagadeska, skipper-san.
Oh, I'm fine. Hey, that's terrific, Chuck. Oh, boy, is Fuji going to be surprised when we spring all this on him.
Hey, Mr. Parker, where'd you learn how to speak Japanese?
Yeah.
In my sleep.
And you
sleep?
Yeah, I just got these Japanese sleep teach records from the States. Boy, if we don't win the war pretty soon, I'm going into espionage.
On whose side?
Oh, that's pretty funny, Sailor. That's insubordination.
All right, okay. Hold it, you samurais. Now, listen, how does this work, boy?
Well, it's pretty simple. You just take one of these records and put it on the phonograph, and then when you go to sleep at night, you just flip this switch, and when your old head hits the pillow...
Good morning. Ohayo. How are you today? Ikaga desu ka? Would you call me a taxi cab? Taxi o yonde kuremasen ka?
Hey, I like that one. Sure come in handy at Ebbets Field. Takshu yonde kuremasen. Ah, get lost, you bum.
all right, easy, guys. I got to study. Besides, I'm working on my speech to welcome Fuji to our little tea party. I'll just bow and say, Im Pitsubeko ni Aoi Tawa o Note Imashu.
What does that mean?
It means I have a little bluebird in my pencil box.
We better be keeping an eye out for food.
Hey, I tell you what.
You guys keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to take up some, I'll take some rifles up for them to clean. That ought to keep them busy for the rest of the afternoon.
Sneak up on those pirates from behind.
Hi, Forge. Hi, Skipper-san. I finished. Can go back to camp now.
Oh, good, good. Oh, no. I'll take the coconuts back there. Look, you stay here and clean up these rifles, okay? That's a good boy.
Did you see that? Hi, Brendan, what are you doing back here?
Oh, I'm sorry, Trevor.
Sounds like we got visitors. Head for that cave in the hill. Go on.
Hale is out there. He is swapping the enemy rifles for coconuts. Seems better than I hoped for. Take a look at it. Huh? You got him this time, Carpenter. You're my witness.
Your witness, sir?
Yes, witness at the court-martial. Court-martial? Swapping a Japanese sailor rifles for coconuts. That's treason. All right, stick him up. I've got you this time, you traitor. Where's the Japanese? Where's he?
Not so loud, sir. You'll disturb the yellow-bellied sapsucker.
Don't you get smart with me, McHale, and don't you move. You're under arrest.
Arrest, sir? For bird watching?
You're not going to wiggle out of this one, McHale. I saw you trading our rifles to a nip sailor for coconuts. And Carpenter, here's my witness, right?
Well, sir, I got caught on that bush with my gun belt, and I didn't read...
When I ask a direct question, I want a direct answer.
Yes, sir.
All right, then. See? You did see him trading the coconuts for the rifles.
No, sir.
How dare you contradict your commanding officer?
Sir, no. Wait a minute, sir. Look, there's nobody here but me and that yellow-bellied sapsucker.
Then you're both under arrest for treason. Get moving, and that Nip is around here somewhere. I'm going to find him if I have to search the entire area. Here, Nip. Here, Nip.
No. Just a second. Captain Binghamton!
Hey, you keep your voice down. Stop that.
Well, anything you say. Captain Binghamton!
Silence! Cut that out. That's an order.
Yes, sir!
Is it raining today?
That was the skipper's voice.
Yeah, he's running to Binghamton.
Quick, let's get rid of this stuff.
No, it isn't. いいえ、降っていません。
Mr. Parker! Mr. Parker! Condition red. Binghamton's coming. Tashi! Who needs a taxi this time? Let's get out of here.
Be quiet, Carpenter. We're getting near that nest of traitors. Just... Stay out. Oh, Tippy, so I'll let you have it.
All right, now, men, this is a machine gun. Now, it's capable of firing 1,940 rounds per minute. Now, that is a lot of rounds.
All right, you bunch of Mikado lovers on your feet. I got you covered.
All right, you Mikado lovers on your feet. You heard him.
Now, don't move. I got you covered.
Right. Oh, Virgil's not covered. Virgil, you better get covered, boy.
No tricks.
Now, fellas, the captain here thinks that he saw a Japanese sailor on our island.
A Japanese sailor, sir, on this island?
Yes, a Japanese sailor, sir, on this island. Ha! And I got your front man here trading him rifles for coconuts.
Oh, well, I'm afraid you're mistaken, sir. You see, according to Navy regulations, Article 1, Paragraph 21, well, that's strictly against the rules. Of course, now, they don't say anything about coconuts.
I'm not going to wait for any firing squad. I'm going to let him have it right here.
No, Captain.
No sense questioning. These men are all in this thing together. Carpenter, I want a squad of Marines over here.
But, sir...
Friendly double.
Yes, sir.
You men, you just freeze. Not one of you move. You move. That's how you move. You move.
Won't do it again.
Here they come.
I tell you, boy, somewhere on this island, there is a Japanese sailor. He is carrying 3 American rifles, and we are not going to leave here until we find him.
Are you all right, sir?
Oh, it's the blasted headaches again. And you're not helping me any. I've got to lie down for a few minutes. I'll take Parker's head. It's got the least chance of being contaminated.
Yes, sir. Have a good rest.
Hey, my Japanese records. I better... think I'm going to forget about it.
Have a good rest, he says. Here I am surrounded by spies, traitors, Japanese. You could rest at a time like this.
Good morning. Ohayo. How are you today? Ikaga desu ka? Would you call me a taxi cab?
Here comes Carpenter with the doctor. This may give us a chance. Hey, Doc, I'd like to talk to you. Come on.
Yeah, I got a couple of things to say, too. Ow. That's one of them.
I'm sure glad you got here, Doc. Boy, the boys are sure upset. Did Coppy tell you? The captain is acting strange.
Yeah, Carpenter told me something about this charge of treason.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Binghamton slipped his lid.
He's going island happy.
Yeah, Doc, you better call the paddy wagon.
All around out here, pal. Anyway, Oh, Whitmore. What are you doing here anyway? Why?
Well, the Carpenter told me about this treason charge, Wally, and well, exactly what happened between you and McHale.
Well, that's an open and shut case. I just caught Benedict Arnold here trading our rifles for coconuts with a Japanese sailor.
Oh, now, come on, Captain. You can't...
Ohio! And don't you forget that. Said he was out there watching a yellow-bellied sapsucker. Well, of course, that's ridiculous. So I just looked him right in the eye and I said to him, Tashuki Ayanda Karamasenka! Anyway, there's no doubt that he... Whitmore, are you listening to me? Why are you all staring at me?
Nothing, Captain. I'm just wondering, since when do you speak Japanese?
Japanese? But are you crazy? I don't speak any Japanese.
But you just did so. We just heard you.
Oh, this is the most utterly ridiculous. Carpenter, did you hear me speak any Japanese?
I'm afraid so, sir.
There, you see, Carpenter. When I want your opinion, I'll ask for it. This is absolutely ridiculous. I am going to call Complete Intelligence and have them send a search team over here. And when I tell them, Epitsuamako and Mariamasu, oh, they'll be right over.
Oh, no, Doctor, can't you, but...
No, he can't. I'm still in charge here. And as far as I'm concerned, McHale, you're just a taxi. No, you speak Japanese. That's the most ridiculous. What kind of a doctor are you?
Well, Skip, what do we do?
Yeah, if those intelligence boys show up, Fuji's a goner.
Yeah, and us with him.
Yeah, I know. We've only got one chance. Huh. Now, you know, Carpy and the Doc both think that old Leadbottom's got a case of the jungle jollies. Now, if we can only convince Binghamton, maybe he'll call off those intelligence boys.
How do we do that, Skip?
Oh, questions, always questions. We gotta shake them up good, that's what. Sort of like gaslight him. Yeah. And I got a few ideas on that subject. Come on with me, you bunch of spook. Come on.
Abel Baker to Blue Leader. Abel Baker to Blue Leader. Over.
Blue Leader, this is Blue Leader. Come in, Abel Baker.
We're now directly under Captain Binghamton's window.
Okay, men, we are about to begin Operation Gaslight.
Abel Baker to Blue Leader. Phase 1 just completed. Ready for Phase 2 anytime you are.
All right, boys. This is it. Ready on a firing line? Ready, Skip. Fire 1. Fire 2. Fire 3.
To go.
secure all gear. It's monsoon.
Sir?
But snap to it, you idiot. The monsoon, the whole island's gonna be washed away with it. Look, check your rifle or something. You don't just stand around there in the middle of a thing like this going on. Been a nightmare. What a dream. I'm in a cold sweat. Bed's in a cold sweat. Never be able to get any sleep now.
Phase 2 complete. Ready for phase 3.
Okay, Chuck, let's hit it.
Miro, nete ruso. Kerawa, takides. Koroshita shimai. Koroshita shimai. Shimai. Shimashu. Bai kuai. Shin shimai. Bai kuai. Bai kuai. Shin shimai. Bai kuai. Shin shimai. Shimai.
Japanese! We're being attacked! Japanese! I'm there! Japanese! Two of them, I got them.
Two of what, sir?
Two Japanese. I told you this whole island is crawling with Japanese. They're trying to sneak up on me, the Japanese. I got them. They're right, just a minute. I'll show you the blood. I'm sure they were really big. I got the table. Did you see two Japanese run out of here?
No, sir, I didn't even see the rain.
The guard told us about the monsoon, Wally, and now this piece of the rifle. Thank you. Please, get back in the
There
bed.
were two.
Yes. Just a bad dream that you've been having. Yes. I'm sure you'll be a lot more comfortable without the hat.
Oh, things will look much better in the morning, sir. Just get to sleep, sir. Get to sleep.
I like sleep. I want to sleep. I'd love to sleep. But I don't dare close my eyes with all this.
Now, boys, here comes the clincher. Now we begin our own little sleep teaching class. Captain Binghamton. Captain Binghamton. Listen carefully. There are Japanese on McHale's Island. There are Japanese on McHale's Island. Do you hear me?
There are Japanese on McHale's Island.
You must go to McHale's Island to catch the Japanese.
I must go to McHale's Island, catch the Japanese.
You must leave now.
I must leave now? I must go to McHale's Island, get the Japanese on McHale's Island. I must go to McHale's Island. I must go now. I must go now. Get the Japanese. Sir? I must go to McHale's Island.
But, sir.
I must go now.
But it's 5 a.m., sir.
I must go to McHale's Island. I must go now.
Hajime Mashu. So we have unexpected guests.
What's going on here?
Welcome to Imperial Japanese Naval Base. Allow me to introduce most unworthy self. I am Imperial Commander Quintishi Michaelakawa.
Quintishi Michaelakawa? You're Michael.
So sorry, but I'm Michaelakawa, and this my most humble PT boat crew. Just completed 50 mission.
No, something is wrong here.
Ohio, Ikagadiska. Come on, there, son.
Allow me to introduce Most Honorable Executive Officer, Chakashito Hakamura.
Ah, greetings, Yankee dog.
Yankee, this is Parker.
I never heard of Honorable him. No, Hakamura. Yeah. So sorry I late for tea party. I trying to get Bluebird out of pencil box. That tough teriyaki.
Bring Kimona for honorable guest.
Let go of those.
Oh, must remove shoe for tea ceremony. What? Refuse tea ceremony? Insult to descendants of samurai! Yankee swine, you die!
Don't get carried away, Mr. Parker. It's the only head I've got.
Oh, God, but thank goodness you're here. How many Marines have you got with you?
Well, just this one guard, sir.
Just one that'll have to do. Come on, follow me.
But where, sir, where?
Where? McHale. McHale is really Japanese. The whole island is filled with Japanese. We'll spread out. We'll surround them. They're right in the middle of a tea break.
Oh, sir.
You better follow him, sir. That rifle's loaded.
Oh, come on.
1, 2, 1.
All right, you bunch of nips. Get him up.
Well, good morning, Captain. The boys have them up as far as they can go, sir.
Well, how about this? What's going on here? Where's McHale's and the Japanese PT boat crew? They're all here. They're wearing kimonos and drinking tea, but...
Japanese, kimonos, tea, but Captain, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. We just had reveille, sir, and now it's time for calisthenics.
No, they were Japanese. Yeah, they were... Parker, you saw. Please, boy, tell me you saw the Japanese.
Well, so there's nobody here but us Yankees, but if you want a cup of tea, I'll get you one, sir.
No, tea. I don't speak Japanese. Why would I say that? Oh, my head. Oh, the pains are coming back. Doctor, I need leave. I need to go to New Caledonia badly, Doctor. I need lots of leave and a little love. Please, Doctor, please. Please, Doctor, please.
Oh, we did it. Ah, very clever,
And now, a toast to our guest of honor. To the Honorable Takeo Fujiwara, known to us all affectionately as our dear friend and prisoner, Fuji.
I'll be back in a minute, Carpenter. I just can't leave for New Caledonia without apologizing to McHale for those terrible things that I said about it.
Fuji, Impego Pizone, Auditorio.
Oh, McHale, I just wanted to... And one reason alone. And it's not for the reason that you're thinking. I have been ordered to attend a top-level staff meeting. Because I know the Navy, and I know how the Navy operates. I also know how you pirates operate, so you can find your boat.
Confined to the boat? Well, you can't do that, Captain. My men deserve a liberty.
Oh, knock it off, McHale. The only reason I came on this garbage scow is because it was the only boat available. Now, I repeat, they are confined to the boat. I will be back in 6 hours, exactly 1400. Meantime, you can occupy yourself scrubbing that tub. And that's an order.
Yes, sir.
What a dirty deed. No good things. You can't do this to us. After 14 months of fighting with the Japanese, you think they give us a couple hours off to wrestle with the French? Doggone it, I already had my new target for the night lined up, my pen pal Fifi.
What a bum break.
Some Navy.
Hey, Skip, where do you go to resign?
All right, belay it, will you?
Yeah, the skipper's right. You can't disobey a direct order.
That's correct. When an officer of the Navy gives you an order, you don't question it, you obey it. Now, Binghamton gave me an order, and now I'm going to give you swabs one. Commencing right now. You got 3 hours liberty. Now get out of here and stay out of trouble.
Skip, you can't do that. You did it.
apart, you guys. I haven't got time to have a drink. My pen pal Fifi is waiting.
So let her wait. You gotta have a drink with your buddies.
Ah, let him go. Any trader that'd rather be with girls can leave. Well, hello there.
Voulez-vous American cigarette?
Fifi, here I come.
Hey, come on back, you guys.
Let him go, Christy, baby. I'll dig us up a couple of girls.
Yeah. 4 queens.
Girls.
I see you have a deck of cards. Perhaps we could while away a few hours with a game of chance, eh?
Bonjour, bonjour. Pourquoi not? How about a few hands of poker?
Poker. What is that?
You have never played poker?
No.
Avez-vous la seat? Oh, you'll love it. You'll love it. Now.
Hey, Chuck, we got 3 hours until the boys get back. What do you feel like doing?
Oh, I don't know, Skip. What do you feel like doing?
Well, I don't know. But you name it, and I'll do it. So, what do you feel like doing?
Oh, I don't know. What do you feel like doing?
I don't know. What do you feel like doing?
I don't know.
Well, one of us has got to think of something.
Yeah. Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we give each other haircuts?
Oh, no, I've had enough of this. Look, I'm going to go ashore. I'm worried about the boys, and, well, a little chicken won't hurt. I'll see you.
Okay, Skip, you go ahead. I'll stay here. Oh, I've got 3 queens.
Is that good?
Yeah. Not good enough. Full house.
A full maison. Does that beat 2 paires?
I'm afraid so, mon ami.
2 paires of aces?
2 pair of aces?
Don't tell me. I have 1. This must be how you say beginner's luck, huh? Sacre bleu.
Frenchie, you old buzzard, you're still dealing from the bottom of the deck, huh? Fine with all that kissing, will you?
Hey, Skip, you know this loving crook?
Yeah, Big French and I are old friends.
Say best. I give the shirt off my back to my friend.
Sure, because it's usually my shirt. Will you? This is character and I shipped out together before the war. But I gotta admit, though, we really shook up the 7 seas.
Well, the way he deals, they're lucky there's still 7.
These are you boys?
Yeah, they're part of my PT boat crew.
PT? Oh, I am so sorry, gentlemen. All bets are off. I did not know you were friends of McHale. I only take money from strangers. McHale, come and sit with me. All right. May I ask all the questions that race around my brain? Mon ami, this PT boat, you have it here with you on the island?
Yeah, it's tied up to... Yeah. And get that look out of your eyes. The last time you looked at me like that, my watch ended up hanging in a hock shop in Singapore.
Is there any way to talk about a man who saved your life when you fell overboard in the Zamboanga?
I didn't fall. I was pushed.
The important thing is that you were saved. Now you can all pay that favor. And all I want for you to do is lend me your PT boat.
Lend me? Come on, will you, Frenchie?
There is a shipment of copra worth $2,000 just waiting to be picked up on the island of Sucara.
What about your boat?
Unfortunately, the police have it. Minor infringement of shipping regulations.
Sure, like a rum-running, smuggling, piracy on the high seas.
Oh, McHale, you always make with the joke, huh? But forget about my boat. What about yours?
Yeah, well, you can forget about my boat, too. Say, haven't you heard? There's a war on, remember? Boom, boom.
Yes, I remember. I read something about it. All right, forget about the boats. Let's have a drink together for all time's sake, huh?
Now you're talking, pal.
It looks as though I lose the argument, huh? But as you Americans say, it is not if you win or lose, but how you play the game. Gendarme, come quickly to the cafe. An American sailor is attacking 3 poor Frenchmen.
This is all a mistake. We've been trained. Well, you can't do this to me, sir. I'm an officer in the United States Navy.
Look them up!
Wait, hold on. No. You can't lock me up, sir. I'm leaving port here in a couple of hours. I gotta dig up the rest of my crew.
Pour être ça qui n'est plus, monsieur. Voilà!
I thought I told you Jasper to stay out of trouble. Now, what in blazes are you doing here?
Well, I come here every season.
Now, what are we doing here? Those mamsells turned out to be engaged.
What are you doing here?
Oh, never mind. Now, look, Chief, you can't keep us here. Look up. Wait a minute. Wait just a minute. I know my rights. And I know that we're entitled to make one phone call before you lock us up.
You're absolutely right. My apology to you. What is the name of your commanding officer?
How about, forget it.
That's all we need. Old lead bottom finding out we're in the clink. We're dead. D-E-D-D-D, dead.
Oh, quiet, you 8 balls, and let me think, will you? Try to figure a way to get us out of here before Binghamton gets back.
Parker, will you shut up and listen to what I'm saying?
Oh, well, yes, sir. I heard everything you had to say. What were you saying?
I said, are you and McHale keeping that gang of pirates on the ball? Are they scrubbing the boat?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're busy as bees here. Yes, sir. We were just working our heads off. Yes. All right, tote those crates, lift those bales.
What crates? What bales?
Huh? All right, man. Now let's get to work. Willie, more water there. Yes, Mr. Parker. Here. Okay. Tinker, swing that mop. Yes, Mr. Parker. Tinker, here. Okay, Gruber. Come on, more rags.
Parker, have you been drinking?
I've been inhaling some GI soap, sir, but it's pretty strong, you know.
Now, look, you numbskull, I've got to get back to that meeting. We're going to wind up ahead of schedule. So I want you to tell McHale that he's to have that Bill's barge shining in 1 hour because we're going to sail then, and that's all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Roger, over now. Sorry, sir. Sorry. Walk, don't run. Now, let's see. If I were Commander McHale, and I were in a French port, where would I go? No, I can never face Mother.
Pardon, this is Commander McHale's pity boat, no?
Huh? Oh, yes, yeah.
And you are the only one here, yes?
No. I mean, yes.
Well, your Commander McHale has just been arrested.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I am his friend, big Frenchie. I try to help, but nobody pays attention to a man like me. But you... The minute I look at you, I can see you are a man of action, yes?
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. Well, yes and no.
It is the eyes, the bull neck, and those powerful shoulders. You remind me very much of that American film star. How you call him? John Wayne.
John Wayne? Well, look, partner, this is no time for talk. This is time for action. Oh, I forgot. I can't leave the boat.
Well, you go right ahead. As a friend of Commander McHale, I will watch the boat for you. The police station is right that way.
Well, I don't know. That's against regulations.
Did you ever see John Wayne worry about regulations when a friend was in trouble?
Watch the boat.
Fool around with me, will you?
I demand the release of Commander McHale of the United States Navy.
And who are you?
I'm Ensign Wayne. John Parker. Chuck Parker. My name is Chuck.
Hey, Chuck,
Oh, hi, Skip. Don't worry, I'll have you out of here in no time. Now, look, Moan Chief, I'm sure that we can straighten this whole thing out. I mean, after all, we're great fans of Maurice Chevalier. So now, look, if you'll just let Commander McHale go.
Let him go! Commander McHale is being held for disorderly conduct, disturbing the peace, destroying private property, and hitting a Frenchman.
He hit a Frenchman? You hit a Frenchman? Well, now, look. After all, if he did all those things, I'm sure he's sorry. Now, look, I'm sure we can make it up to you boys somehow. Look.
Are you trying to bribe an officer of the law?
Bribe? Oh, no. I was just going to look at the time. You see, we have to be out of port in less than an hour. So.
Arrest this man. Throw him in with the others.
You can't arrest John Wayne. See,
I can arrest so I want. I'm the boss of this Bastille.
Hey, Skip, we got to get out of here. Captain Binghamton called.
Binghamton?
Yeah, he's leaving ahead of schedule. As a matter of fact, in exactly 49 minutes.
All right, don't panic.
Yeah, well, what's he going to say when he comes back and finds that we're not there? Oh, boy, it's a good thing I got Big Frenchie watching the boat.
Yeah.
Now, listen, you...
Big who watching what?
Oh, your friend, Big Frenchie. He volunteered to watch the boat while I was out helping you.
Oh, no. Now you can panic. We gotta get a hold of Virgil. Maybe he can raise the dough. Hey, you guys know Pee-Pee's number?
Save your nickel, Skip. They're putting Virgil through now, person to person.
Virgil! What happened to you?
I was picked up for speeding, Skip.
Speeding? Where'd you get the car?
I didn't have a car. I was running from her. Let me in there.
Oh, you make big promises in the letter, Virgil, but the promises are all lies.
Lies? Talk about lying. What about that phony picture you sent me, Fifi?
Huh? That's Fifi?
Papa, he doesn't want to marry me.
Papa? He's her papa?
Don't cry, mon petit, don't cry. Jeune homme, throw him in with the others. Lock him up.
No, just a minute, Chief. I think there's been a slight misunderstanding, yes. You see, this young man wasn't running away from your charming daughter, no. He was running into town for a tuxedo, for the wedding, yes. He's very much in love with your Fifi, yes. Yes, and if you let us out, we would like to arrange a military wedding complete with 21-gun salute. Is that right, little boy?
Yeah, sounds great.
Yes, so that's all settled. Now you two lovebirds get together, huh?
Oh, Virgil! Virgil! Oh.
And now, Papa, if you let us out, we would like to go arrange for the ceremony.
Gendarme, let out these troublemakers from this place. Bon appetit.
I knew it. The boat's gone, that backstabbing barnacle scraper.
Boy, is he in trouble.
Is he in trouble?
Well, sure, Skip. According to paragraph 11, section 15 in Navy Manual, why a civilian can't operate a Navy vessel, especially during time of war.
Oh, ease off, will you, Chuck? If that boat isn't back here by the time Binghamton arrives, we'll all be civilians in Alcatraz.
I wonder what John Wayne would do at a time like this.
He usually jumps on a horse.
Oh, now, will you guys be quiet? For heaven's sakes, I'm trying to think. Now, let's see. By this time, Frenchie ought to be halfway to Saqqara. And unless we can get started... Bingo! There's our solution, boys.
Come on.
Frenchie swiped our boat, so we'll just swipe his.
Hey, yeah. We'll paint a 73 on it, and Binghamton will never know the difference. Won't work.
We gotta take off after Frenchie and the 73. And that's how we're going. But first of all, fellas, we gotta take care of those gendarmes.
Commander McHale of the United States Navy. I have just received word of Japanese action at Saqqara. I'm commandeering this boat. Government orders.
Monsieur Commander, we have our orders too.
Step aside, Buster. This is the United States Navy.
And United States Navy.
Just make contact with MacArthur in the Pacific, sir. Rendezvous is at 1300.
Right.
Always, Mac.
Oh, fine. Just got a new hat.
Board the boat! Board the boat!
Monsieur Irish.
Sir, Admiral Nimitz sends his regrets. He cannot join us on this mission.
He says keep your powder dry.
Colchester.
Just immediately, Commander.
McHale of the United States Navy. Now, don't interfere with invasion operations.
Sir, British reinforcements are on the way. Churchill sends you this. Stonewall Jackson sends his best.
Stonewall Jackson. Board the boat! Start the engine! Sealed orders not to be opened until after we leave.
Goodbye. Stonewall Jackson?
Hey, wait for me! It's all right, he's one of us. He's President Roosevelt's special messenger. I'll see you get the Croix de Guerre. Bye-bye, mon ami.
Okay, Tink, cut your engines.
Hey, Skip, why are we sneaking up like this anyway? I mean, after all, we're the good guys. Why don't we just fire a shot across their bow?
With what? Slingshots? No guns on this old tub. We'll have to go out and get those French hijackers with our bare hands.
Oh, really? Well, you don't have to worry then, Skip. Good thing I kept up my judo.
Ha! Ha! All right. Save us for later, will you, Slugger?
Look, there's our boat.
Let's take her.
Wait, Chuck.
Hey, what's that?
Oh, man, we're really dead.
Yeah, now the Nips have our boat. Yeah, and us with no weapons. Hey, boys, let's go back to the boat right away.
We running, Skip?
Yeah, but we're coming right back. We're going to make a little Japanese salad with some French dressing. Come on, boys.
Japanese salad with French dressing. I thought they used sukiyaki sauce.
Mino, to middle. Allez, Shuniko.
Comment allez-vous? Maître Dini Crêpe-Suzette! Vive la Hirgito!
Who are you? What is going on here? I do not understand all this French talk.
You see, we are French. We are neutral. We love everybody. Hey, you must have had the unhappy childhood.
Demand to know what you are doing here. Who are you?
Well, we are happy French sailors. We love everybody. But these pigs we hate. Yeah, collaborate with the Americans for free PT boat ride, huh? Sacre bleu! Monsieur McHale to you, swine!
Explain to McHale, hey.
What? What he says is that he is a filthy turncoat, yeah.
May we?
Curse on the mother's goat.
Hate the filthy turncoat, yes. You we like, them we hate. You like, them hate. Is that the right, mon compatriot? Oui. Like, hey. Like, hey. Like, hey. I insist you stop. Well, anything you say, monsieur, we stop. Hey, mon ami. Then we like you, we hate.
Hey, that's great, Skip. What style of judo was that?
American style. It's called a shot in the head.
Shot in the head. I'll have to remember that.
All right, nice work, boys. All right, let's get these prisoners on board and then let's go. We got to get moving.
Oh, McHale, mon ami. I'm so happy to see you. My chin take quite a beating, but you saved Frenchie's life.
Yeah, well, that makes us even for Zamboanga. Yeah, stealing our PT boat of all the low-down scurvy tricks.
You like me, I can tell. How Frenchie could ever have stolen anything from a man like you, I do not know. Ooh, I like me, I hate.
Come on, will you? Don't start that all over again. Yeah, all right, and listen, boy, this is it. Frenchie, your boat is on the other side of the island. Let's not just say au revoir. Let's say bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Pathfinder.
Boy, he sure likes you, Skip. I guarantee you, after what he's been through today, he's going to go straight.
Friend? That French frog just stole my wallet! Hey!
I thought he was going to go straight.
Hi, Captain. Sorry we're a little late, sir.
Not a little late. McHale, when I'm through with you, you'll be so finished you won't even be able to sail a boat across a bathtub. I've got a list of charges against you that's going to make Benedict Arnold look like the American of the Year.
Oh?
You ready for this?
Yes, sir.
1, direct disobedience of orders. Huh? 2, absence without leave. 3, dereliction of duty. 4, stealing a French vessel. 5, assault and battery on French citizens.
Well, now, those are 5 good charges, sir. Yes, sir.
they
But if
are.
I may say so, I have a good answer for each of them, sir.
What are you talking about? Why?
Well, now, prisoners, front and center. There you are, sir. 5 of them. Count them.
McHale, I don't believe you. You're trying to pull something on me again. Now, who are these people you've got?
Duty, but when you're alone with them under the stars and they see that love light gleaming in your eyes, kid.
Virg, the only light I ever put in the girl's eye is the glare from this. Have a ball tonight, you guys. I'm gonna wash up and hit the sack. Boy, you know, I feel kind of sorry for old Hap. A guy can't be a loner and like it.
Well, that's life, huh? Sorry, Rita, baby. I'm cheating on you tonight. Got myself a live one.
Mr. Bell, you are going to be running the gig for me, are you not? Or do I have to paddle over?
Sorry, Skipper, I was just making myself irresistible.
Irresistible?
Hey, Skip, can we hit your ride?
Hold it, you bunch of corn-fed Casanovas. What is this, another raid on the nurses' quarters?
Well, now, wait a minute. You guys know it's against regulations for enlisted men to fraternize with nurses.
Mr. Parker!
Well, we'll check that. You don't exactly fraternize with a female. Well, now, you know Binghamton's new rule. The next enlisted man he catches with a nurse goes right in the brig.
Mr. Parker's absolutely right. You would be breaking regulations and defying Captain Binghamton's authority. So what are we waiting for? Let's go! Okay, boys.
Look at that character, would you? Sleeping like a baby.
Poor guy, he doesn't know what he missed.
Yeah, hey, what about that new redhead in Ward 3? Wow, now I know what they mean by socialized medicine.
Okay, you guys. Hey, which one of you guys put the grab on my calendar?
What calendar?
You know what You know what calendar? The one that had Betty Grable on it.
Well, don't look at me, Skip. I wouldn't say that.
do with that.
Who needs a Betty Grable calendar? My delicatessen back home is pushing Rita Hay with this one.
She's gone. Hey, someone swiped all my pinups. Hey, where's my Alice Faye?
They're all missing, Skip.
Skip us on.
I'm reporting violation of Geneva Conventions.
What is it, Fuji?
Somebody swiped my Shari Yamaguchi.
Skip, Happy was the only one here.
Come on, what are you talking about? We're happy to be the last one in the world that...
Hey, Skip, look. Here they are.
But I'm a son of a wall-eyed sea serpent.
Shh. He's getting up.
And his eyes are still closed.
Holy Toledo.
sleepwalking in his sleep.
Hey, Skip, he's going into Mr. Parker's hut.
Now he swiped the pin up from Mr. Parker. Hey, what's going on here? He took a snapshot of my mother right off the wall.
Mother?
Yeah, the one in her bikini.
Hey, wait a minute. Hold it, you guys. Wait a minute. I hear it's dangerous to wake up a sleepwalker suddenly. Oh, that poor guy. Look at him. Hey, what happened tonight anyway? Why wasn't he with you guys?
Same as every night, Skip. He's afraid of anyone that wears skirts.
Yeah, he's got an idea. Dames don't like him because he's an egghead. Not smart like one, just bald like one.
I didn't realize it was that bad. He's really cracking up.
It's a rough situation, Skip.
Well, what can we do about it, Skip?
Well, look, don't ask me. I'm no head shrinker, but first of all, I'd say we have to build up his confidence and then we'll get him a date with a real girl so he won't go chasing him in his sleep.
Affirmative, Skip. Hap's problem is purely psychological. I can tell. I did a lot of work with a Navy psychiatrist when I first joined up.
You did?
Oh, yeah. I didn't exactly work with him. He kind of worked with me. He'd ask me a lot of questions, and we'd all...
Now, fellas, here's what we do. Now.
Hey, guys, look, there's a picture of Happy in here.
In a movie magazine?
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
Okay, wise guy, see for yourself.
Well, I'll be. Wait a minute. That's not Happy. That's Cary Grant.
Sure looks like Hap.
Oh, cut it out, you guys. With my dome, you're putting me on.
On the level, Hap. You look enough like him to be his brother.
Oh, come on, Groove.
You don't believe, eh? Okay, we'll try it on a disinterested bystander. Mr. Parker.
Hi, you guys. I was just passing by.
We want your unbiased opinion. Take a look at Happy and tell us what movie star does he remind you of?
Hey, Cary Grant.
Oh, come on now, Mr. Parker. Looks like you guys are working around for sick leave.
Where you going, Hap?
I'm going someplace where I can take a snooze in peace.
I don't know what makes me so tired today.
He ought to be tired. He was walking all night.
Hi, Skip.
Hi. Well?
I don't know if we bought it, Skip. We sure gave it the hard sell.
Well, it was all right for openers. After all, Hap is only human, and you planted the seed, and that's what counts. It'll sprout, boys.
Better for him if a little hair would sprout.
Oh, lead bottom.
Ah!
Morning, Captain.
All right, McHale, muster your crew. I want to talk to them. Get them in here on the double.
Yes, sir. All right, all you guys, come here on a double now. Let's go. All right, front and center. There you are, Captain.
Sergeant, the evidence. Ah? McHale, one of your amorous beach boys lost this last night in a raid on the nurses' quarters. It's court-martial offense.
Captain, what makes you think it was one of my boys?
Oh, you're a funny man, McHale. What other crew, even loosely attached to the Navy, wears Hawaiian shirts? Sergeant, you recognize the culprit?
Sorry, sir. It was night, and I only saw him from behind.
Attention! About face! Sir, we have nothing to hide.
McHale, don't get cute with me. Are you going to hand over the guilty man, or aren't you?
Enemy plane coming in low.
Hey, all right, hit the shelter. Come on, boys, let's go. Come on, Captain, let's go.
Belay that, McHale. You're not going to wiggle off the hook by staging a phony air raid. I know an enemy plane when I hear one. All right, I hear one.
Torpedoes!
Happy sleepwalking again.
Sleepwalking? Well, he'll draw enemy fire to us. were. He showed them where we were. This man showed them where... Oh, God, what's the matter with you? A fellow like that could get us all killed in here. Look at him. He's still asleep. How long has this been going on?
Well, we just found out last night, sir. We came back. I'll sit down.
No, Seaman Haynes is all right, sir. Yes, sir. He's just a little tired. Now, you see, we were on night maneuvers last night.
I heard about that from the shore patrol. Oh, for heaven, a man like that is a menace. There's no place for sleepwalkers in a combat zone.
But Captain...
You butt out, McHale. There's going to be a hospital ship here Saturday. I want that man checked out by a Navy psychiatrist. That's an order.
All clear, sir.
Very good. Very well.
But Captain, you can't ship out Happy just for a little sleepwalking.
You want to bet? And he's not the only one who's going to be shipped out if you don't keep these men away from my nurses. What a war.
Poor Hap. We gotta break him out of sleepwalking habit by Saturday or he's a goner.
Only one way to do it, Skip. Get him a date with some cute-looking chick and make him feel wanted.
That won't be easy. Hap won't go near a gal, you know, feeling like he does about his bald noggin.
Well, I don't know why I should. I don't have any trouble with the women, and well, I'm getting a little on the naked side, top side.
Yeah, but there must be some way.
All right, gangway. Oh, excuse me, sir. The captain forgot the evidence.
Oh.
Geronimo! Well, boys, we've lined up Hap's hair. Now all we need is a gal.
I think you're on firm psychological ground, Commander. Your man feels rejected by the opposite sex. This has brought on a trauma, which in turn triggered the sleepwalking. Now, we counter the trauma with a pleasant experience, and a cure is highly feasible.
Gee, I love that kind of talk.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the idea, Nancy. And that's where you come in, Ann. We need your help.
Oh, I'd be glad to help, but do you think just having a date with me will cure him?
It's got to. Or it's bye-bye Happy when that hospital ship pulls in on Saturday morning.
Well, I'll do my best. But it sounds like a pretty big job to take on alone.
Oh, you won't have to go it alone, my dear. I have a tremendous interest in this case. So if Mr. Parker will escort me, we'll make it a double date. Purely in the interest of science, of course.
You and me? Well, I'm pretty busy.
Well, now, you wouldn't want to see Happy shipped out. Of course you don't. Right? Right.
It's a date. Come on, Ann.
Okay, Lieutenant. Oh, and thanks for the pills. Oh, you got a minute? I want you to meet one of my boys here. This is Lieutenant Ann Wright, Seaman Happy Haynes.
Glad to meet you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I have to be running along. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Oh, Commander.
Huh? Come on.
Happy, you're a smash. Huh? You know, I got another lover boy on my hands. You know what she says? She says you look a little like Cary Grant.
Skipper, did she say that?
Yeah.
Hey, maybe the guys weren't ripping me after all, huh?
Hey, did you like a date with her?
A date? Oh, I don't know, Skip. Well,
you got it. You can make it a double-header with Mr. Parker here. He's got a date with a cute chick, huh, Chuck?
Oh, you mean the... Oh, yeah. She's real sharp, real sexy.
oh, no, Skip, it won't work.
Now what's wrong?
We forgot about this. From here up, I sure ain't no Cary Grant.
Yeah, well, don't you worry about that, Hap. The boys are working on that right now.
from the boys.
That sure makes a difference.
There they go, all my gals.
Yes, sir. You're the new glamour boy of PT-73.
Yeah, you look just like Sesshu Hayakawa.
Who?
That's Japanese Cary Grant.
Oh, Judy.
Yes, sir, Hap. Tonight's the night. That doll of a lieutenant is gonna flip her stripes. Look at that.
Hey, guys, condition red. Binghamton's coming. And I going. Ratzarak, Cary.
Hi, Captain. Hey, what are you doing, Copy?
Commander, would you hold this for me, please?
The lieutenant is posting an official notice for the edification of your cutthroats.
You know you're bold. You better bitch to fight.
Official notice. Nurses' quarters are off limits to all enlisted personnel. Violators will be shot on sight by order of Captain Wallace P. Binghamton.
This is an official notice to you saltwater Romeos that my Marine Guards are going to be using live ammunition.
You're all heart, Captain.
Attention!
What's that?
Another one of those pesky critters, sir. Stand back. They're dangerous. Get
Got it, sir.
You've got what? What is that? What is that?
Jungle chipmunk, sir. They're biggest ponies in this climate. I'll dispose of it.
Come on, Carpenter, let's get out of here. This isn't a naval base, it's a zoo.
Oh, but sir, you forgot something.
I know it. Buzzing in my ear. What's the matter with you? Now, if any of you raunchy Romeos have got any ideas about sneaking the nurses over here, well, you just forget it. Because from now on, the nurses are confined to their quarters, except on a written pass signed by me. Huh? That's a real grabber, huh?
Skip, that's not fair. He can't do that to us.
He's really got us boxed in this. We can't get to the nurses, and they can't get to us.
Well, tough luck, Hap, old boy. Looks like your dates are off.
No, wait a minute, huh? I think I got an angle. Hey, Verge, you're pretty big with the girls around here. Now, where do you take them on a date when you don't want to get caught?
Well, now, that's a professional secret, Skip.
Come on, give you swab. This is for Happy.
All right, Skip, my #1 rendezvous is the fire shack down by the ammunition dump. A lot of privacy, and no one goes there unless there's a fire.
Ah, well, that's it then, Hap. Hey, Groove. Yeah. Let me have that hairpiece, boy. Hey, boy, there's gonna be a hot time in the old fire shack tonight.
Sure is hot today.
Not half as hot as it's gonna be for the guy that stole my wig. When I catch him, I'm gonna tear him apart.
Okay, girls, it's all clear. Think just keeping them busy. Well, good luck, girls. And remember, you'll have to turn it on for Happy. Boy, you really got a shy one there. Hey, this way.
It's refreshment time. Now, you two sit right down here. Come on, Happy. And we'll go get some ice.
Oh, well, don't you think we are?
Why don't you sit over here, Happy?
Well, I don't want to crowd you.
Anson, this is a crisis.
Well, I know I tried to tell you there's no ice in here.
No, I mean Seaman Haynes.
Oh.
At this rate, we'll never dissipate his trauma. You and I will just have to show them the way.
Right.
Nothing real obvious, of course, just a mad embrace or two. But...
Yeah, well, wait a minute, Lieutenant. Why, you can't expect an ensign of the United States Navy to neck in front of enlisted personnel.
Just pull yourself together, Anson. This is purely scientific. There's absolutely no emotion involved. Like this.
Oh, now that's not bad.
You see? Purely platonic. But perhaps it will stimulate Seaman Haynes enough to overcome his inhibitions.
Right.
Now, let's see if you've got it.
Right, yeah.
I thought they went for ice.
Captain, sir.
What's the matter with you? You know I'm not a well man. Don't be sneak. What do you want?
Sorry, sir, but 2 nurses are reported missing from their quarters.
I knew it. I knew McHale was up to something. Get my Jeep. We'll search the island. Well, don't just stand there. Move, move, move.
Look, Lieutenant, you can't do this. You ought to read your manual. Besides, you said it was for science.
Away with science. Overpower me. Show them the way.
Hey, you don't have to. They're already there.
Gee, I never thought it would be like this. It's even better than just dreaming about it.
Oh, I think you're just wonderful, Happy.
Well, now you know the awful truth, and you don't have to say anything. I know I'm repulsive.
Oh, stop it, Happy. You're sweet and gentle, and I like you. This doesn't make any difference.
Do you mean it?
Of course.
Hey, Hap, did you hear that? She likes you just the way you are. Bald as an old doorknob.
Well, case dismissed.
Well, I don't need that wig after all, do I, Ann?
Well, let me use it.
Okay, boys. Now, we'll stay here off the ammo dump until the party's over, and then we'll pick them up. Holy jumping kamikazes! The captain! He's coming down the road to the shack.
Oh, what a spot.
Well, we'll never get him out of there now, Skip.
If the captain walks into that love nest, he'll blow his top in the ammunition dump with it.
What'd you say?
I said if the captain
That's
walks
what I thought you said. Boys, it's our only chance. Willie, break out the smoke grenades. You boys man the 50s.
You're not gonna blow up the ammo dump, are you?
Well, of course not. But we gotta make it look that way. Come on, don't just stand there. Move, move.
Hey, fellas. Why don't we go outside and get a little air? It's getting kind of warm in here, isn't it?
What's that here, you jolly ensign, you?
Hey! It's Captain Binghamton!
Oh, no, we're dead.
Hey, grab that stuff and get in the storage room.
Come on, girls.
Yeah. Hey, you guys better hide.
Did you hear a noise in here, Carpenter?
I'm not sure, sir, but... Watch out, sir! Watch out! It's one of those jungle chipmunks, sir! Watch out! Stay back, sir!
Do it.
But, sir, I got him, sir! Don't!
Wait.
But, sir, look out! I'm sorry, sir, but I could have sworn it was one of those jungle chipmunks.
No, that ain't nitwit can see that the toupee. Now, will you forget about this stupid thing and let's find those nurses? Go look in the storage room. What happened there? The chipmunk's on fire. Fire!
Fire in the ammunition dump! Fire!
That's the skipper's voice. He'll get us out of this.
Fire! Fire in the ammunition dump! Don't go out there, sir, to see a flame!
Well, what are you doing here?
That's a good thing I saw the smoke from the boat, sir. Here, get one of these arms, sir. Quick, hurry up there. Oh, there goes the small arms ammo.
Is singing nursery rhymes, but Pringle just saved the base. This man isn't a menace, he's a hero. Promotion for Pringle. Section 8. For Sterling. Chapter 6. The Reptilian Witness. The final straw came when the base payroll $62,000 in small, unmarked bills went missing. Sterling, having been cleared of his combat fatigue after the gas wore off, was convinced Marlowe had swiped it. "I marked the bills, Thorne," Sterling hissed. "I put them in a wallet and left it as bait. And now, the money is gone." In reality, a local alligator named Brutus, whom Pringle had befriended with peanut butter, had mistaken the wallet for a snack. "Skipper!" Pringle cried, running into Marlowe's shack. "Brutus ate the captain, or at least his money." The base went into lockdown. Sterling demanded a court-martial. Marlowe, realizing they were in deep trouble, managed to lure Brutus into the courtroom with a trail of sandwiches. "You can't bring a reptile into a legal proceeding," Sterling screamed. "He's a witness for the defense, sir," Marlowe countered. "He's currently holding the evidence." Just as the judge advocate was about to pass sentence on Marlowe, Brutus let out a massive sneeze. The wallet flew across the room, hitting Sterling square in the face. Out spilled the $100 bills, all marked with Sterling's own initials. "You framed yourself, Captain?" the judge asked, raising an eyebrow. "No, I was trapping him. It was a sting operation. It looks like a misappropriation of government funds to me, the judge concluded. Marlowe, Pringle, you're cleared. Sterling, I suggest you start packing for that Arctic weather station. As Sterling was led away, screaming about garter belts and alligators, Marlowe leaned back in his chair and looked at Pringle. Well, Barnaby. Marlowe smiled, lighting a cigar. Another successful day at Port Calamity. What's for lunch? Peanut butter. Skip, Pringle grinned. Brutus says it's the only way to fly. And as the sun set over the gilded shallows, the sounds of laughter and the occasional hiss of a disgruntled alligator echoed through the palms of Port Calamity. The Scourge of Porto Paradiso. A novel of high seas incompetence. Begemini. Chapter 1. The Tactical Silk Emergency. Director Sterling Stoneface Sterling was a man who lived on a diet of ulcers and ambition. As the head of the Iron Guard security group on the island of Porto Paradiso, his primary enemies weren't the pirates of the Caribbean, but rather the sheer, unadulterated chaos of his own staff. He stood in his office, clutching a memo as if it were a live grenade. Garter belts, Weaver! Tactical, high-tension garter belts! He screamed, his voice hitting a register that only dogs and extremely nervous secretaries could hear. Agent Weaver, a man whose spine was made of pure titanium-grade brown nosing, nodded frantically. The nursing staff was very specific. Director, they say the standard issue utility clips are ruining their hosiery during high-speed medical drills. What a world. Sterling groaned, clutching his stomach. I have a multi-million-dollar security contract to protect the trade routes, and I'm spending my morning acting as a haberdasher for the infirmary. Snap to it, Weaver. If those nurses need garter belts, find them. Shake a leg. Or, you know what I mean. The intercom buzzed. It was a sound that Sterling had come to associate with the impending end of his career. Director, a voice crackled. Sterling's face turned the color of a curdled lime. Vance wasn't just a general, he was a walking, talking court-martial. He was famous for firing base directors, for having dusty filing cabinets. The sinks are backed up in the mess hall. The Sea Scourge patrol boat looks like a floating junkyard, and now Vance is coming? Sterling popped a handful of antacids into his mouth. My stomach acid could start a diesel engine. Do I look like a man at death's door? You look remarkably green, sir, Weaver said hopefully. Perfect. If I'm hospitalized, I can appoint an acting director. And who better to face the wrath of Iron God Vance than that thorn in my side? Captain Luca Valli? Sterling's eyes gleamed with a predatory light. Luca and his band of cutthroats will run this place into a volcano within 20 minutes of me leaving. Vance will catch them in a total state of anarchy, fire them all, and I'll be hailed as the man who was just too ill to prevent the tragedy. Weaver, call the medic. I'm having a very happy illness. Chapter 2. The Fall of Barnaby Baxter. At the docks, the crew of the Sea Scourge 777 was engaged in their favorite activity. Anything that didn't involve work. Captain Luca Valli, a man who could charm the scales off a fish, was lounging in a hammock strung between two torpedo launchers. Skipper, Officer Barnaby, Bumbles Baxter stammered, approaching with a look of pure terror. Director Sterling has been rushed to the infirmary. He wants to see you. He says it's urgent, life or death, or at least indigestion. When Luca arrived at the infirmary, he found Sterling draped over a bed, looking like a tragic extra in a Victorian opera. Luca, Sterling wheezed. The doctors. They don't know how long I have. The stress, the garter belts. I'm appointing you acting director of Porto Paradiso. Luca blinked. Me? Director? Sir, I'm a saltwater sailor. I'm no good behind a desk. Why not Weaver? Weaver is a boob, Sterling said, momentarily forgetting his dying voice. He's a complete boob. No, it must be you. And I'm appointing Baxter here as your executive officer. Barnaby's eyes nearly popped out of his skull. Executive officer? Me? Oh, sir, you won't regret this. I'll be like a laser, a very clumsy, confused laser. Sterling watched them leave with a sinister grin. The trap is set, Weaver. Now, let's see how long it takes for Porto Paradiso to burn. Chapter 3. The Sultan and the Sycophants. 2 days later, the illness strategy had backfired. The backed-up sinks were fixed by threatening the plumbers with Luca's secret special brew, and the garter belts had arrived. However, a new crisis appeared. The Archduke of Malvania was scheduled for a diplomatic visit. Kina, Omasusi, Patale, Asia, Omasusi, Asia, Ai, Asia, 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 Omasusi, Asia, Omasusi, Asia, Asia, Asia. He was arriving with his 3 daughters, the archduchesses, and he was known to be a man of extreme tradition and even more extreme temper. Director Sterling, now miraculously recovered after hearing that Luca hadn't been fired yet, was back in charge. I want everything 100% in order. Sterling barked at Weaver. I want the Archduke impressed. And I want Luca and his riffraff nowhere near the harbor. Send the Sea Scourge on a reconnaissance mission to that deserted sandbar near the Reef of Doom. But, sir, there's nothing at the Reef of Doom but seagulls and old tires. Exactly. No girls, no parties, no Luca, but fate, as usual, had a sense of humor. The Archduke's private yacht developed engine trouble near the very sandbar where Luca's crew was patrolling. Greetings, O exalted ruler, Luca shouted as the Sea Scourge pulled alongside the luxury yacht. The Archduke, a man with a beard so large it required its own zip code, looked down. Are you the rescue party? I carry priceless cargo. My daughters must be protected from any debasing influences. Wowie, wow, wow, Barnaby whispered, staring at the 3 stunning archduchesses. The Archduke's eyes narrowed. What did that small, sweaty man say? A ceremonial greeting. Your Highness. Luca intervened smoothly. In our country, wowie, wow, wow means welcome, noble traveler. It's very formal. The Archduke seemed mollified. He even took an interest in the Sea Scourge. A fascinating craft. May I steer it? By all means, sir, Luca said, stepping aside. The result was a navigational disaster that nearly took out a coral reef. But the Archduke was thrilled. Smashing. I shall tell your director Sterling that Commander Valli is a genius of naval hospitality. Chapter 4. The Laughing Gas Lament. By the time they returned to the base, Sterling was ready to explode. The Archduke was singing Luca's praises, and Sterling's plans were in tatters. I'm going to break him, Sterling screamed in his office. I'm going to convene a fitness board. Baxter is a menace. He nearly ran over my jeep with that boat. Meanwhile, Luca had a problem of his own. A wisdom tooth was giving him agony. He returned from the base dentist, Dr. Painless Miller, giggling uncontrollably. Nitrous oxide, Barnaby explained to the crew. The skipper's on a trip to the moon. Luca wandered into Sterling's office, still high on laughing gas. Bingy wingy, he chirped, poking Sterling in the chest. You're a barrel of fun. Did you know that? We should throw a party, with hula girls and potato peels. Sterling stared at him. Are you out of your mind, Valli? I'm about to ruin your career. Ruin? No, promoted. You love me, I love you. We're all pussycat wookums. The crew, realizing Sterling was about to sign the court-martial papers, decided to use the laughing gas to their advantage. They snuck a canister of the gas into the air-conditioning vents of Sterling's office. Minutes later, the sounds of manic laughter drifted across the base. General Vance! Sterling roared into the phone, tears of laughter streaming down his face. Forget the audit. Come over for a pajama party. I've got some potato peels that'll blow your mind. And I'm promoting Baxter to admiral. He's a chucky-wucky genius. When the gas wore off, Sterling found he had accidentally cancelled the fitness board, invited the general to a non-existent gala, and promised Barnaby a raise. Why me? Sterling sobbed, face planting into his desk. Why is it always me? Chapter 5. The Legend of Snappy the Cayman. While the base recovered from the gas incident, Barnaby had found a new friend. During a supply run to the swampy side of the island, he had rescued a 4-foot caiman he named Snappy. "He's a mascot, Skipper," Barnaby pleaded as the alligator snapped its jaws inches from Luca's nose. "He's like an old cousin of mine. He loves peanut butter sandwiches." "Barnaby, that thing is a tactical liability," Luca sighed. "If Sterling sees it, he'll have us all in the brig." Predictably, Sterling was nearby. He had decided to set a trap for Luca. He lost his wallet, containing 9 brand new $100 bills borrowed from Agent Weaver's life savings, near the crew's quarters. He planned to catch them with the stolen money and end their careers for good. But Snappy found the wallet first. When Sterling arrived with an armed guard to search the quarters, he found Snappy lounging on Barnaby's bed, the director's leather wallet clamped firmly in his prehistoric jaws. "My wallet," Sterling shrieked. "He's eating the evidence. McHale, you trained this beast to rob me." "Sir," Barnaby said, "I object. You can't call Snappy a thief. He has an unhappy childhood. He probably thought it was a very expensive sandwich." The resulting court-martial of the alligator was the highlight of the Puerto Paradiso social season. It ended when Snappy, bored by Sterling's testimony, lunged at the director's ankles, forcing the entire fitness board to retreat into the rafters. Chapter 6. The $62,000 chase. The final straw came when the Puerto Paradiso payroll $62,000 in cash was scheduled for transport. Sterling, convinced Luca would steal it, ordered Barnaby to pick it up personally from the local bank in town. "I've got the money, Skipper," Barnaby shouted, waving a canvas bag as he walked through the crowded marketplace. Then disaster struck. A beautiful woman in a blue dress, with a distinctive heart-shaped birthmark on her ankle, which Barnaby noticed with his usual laser focus on the wrong details, bumped into him. A moment later, 2 men in grey suits snatched the bag and vanished into the labyrinth of Puerto Paradiso's alleys. "The money!" Barnaby wailed. "It's gone, and I think I'm in love with the accomplice." Luca and the crew spent the next 6 hours in a frantic, comedic chase through the town. They checked ankles, peeked under cafe tables, and nearly started a riot at a local hula school. Sterling, meanwhile, had arrived in town to supervise. He spotted the crew and assumed they had already hidden the loot. "I've got you, Vali," Sterling crowed, chasing them through a fruit market. "Hand over the cash or face the firing squad." The chase culminated at an old ceremonial cannon in the town square. "Look out," Barnaby screamed, seeing a local official about to light the fuse for a sunset salute. "That cannon's loaded with 62 grand. Boom!" The cannon fired. But instead of a lead ball, a cloud of $20 and $50 bills exploded over the town square like green confetti. "Manna from heaven!" a local yelled, as the townspeople began dancing in the rain of cash. Sterling stood in the middle of the square, his arms outstretched as the payroll fluttered around him. 42,000. 42,100. Luca patted Sterling on the shoulder. "Cheer up, Director. Most of it's still here. And look at the bright side, the Archduke's daughters are coming back next week. They heard we have an alligator who likes peanut butter." Sterling looked up at the Caribbean sky and let out a long, low moan. "Weaver," he whispered, "get me the garter belts. I'm going back to the infirmary." The end. The Scoundrels of Azure Missed. A novel of nautical nonsense and strategic sabotage. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Crisis. Commodore Barnaby. The Bluster Blyton was a man whose blood pressure could be measured by the shade of purple on his neck. On a humid Tuesday at Forward Outpost Zodiac, a humid mosquito-infested speck in the archipelago of azure mist, the Commodore was currently a deep, bruised violet. "Wow," Blyton muttered, staring at a requisition form. "Wow, wow, wow." "Major Mallow, come here." Major Mallow, a man whose spine was made of pure sycophancy, scurried forward. "Yes, Commodore? Is it the Japanese? Is it the end of the world?" "It's worse, Mallow. It's garter belts. The nurses at the hospital have filed a formal grievance. They need garter belts. And apparently, we are the only supply depot within 500 nautical miles. You are the supply officer. Snap to it. Shake a leg. Or, well, you know what I mean. Blyton slumped into his chair, which groaned under the weight of his administrative despair. Being the commanding officer of Outpost Zodiac was like being the headmaster of a school for gifted delinquents, except the students had torpedoes. Everything is on my shoulders, Blyton lamented, reaching for a bottle of antacids. And now I get word from a pal of mine at Central Command. Admiral Steelgut Grimsby is arriving today on a sneak inspection. Steelgut, do you know what he does to sloppy bases, Mallow? He flays them. He turns them into target ranges. Just then, the telephone rang. Blyton snatched it up. Yes, this is Commodore Blyton. Who did you expect? The Little Mermaid? What? The sinks in the officers' club are backing up again? I'm the commanding officer, not a plumber. Fix it with your teeth for all I care. He slammed the phone down and winced, clutching his stomach. My stomach acid could start a tank. Mallow, I need a way out. If I were sick, truly, medically incapacitated, I could appoint an acting base commander, someone to take the brunt of Grimsby's wrath. A wicked glint entered Blyton's eyes. It was the look of a man who had found a sacrificial lamb and was currently looking for the mint sauce. Not Julian. Not you, Mallow. I need someone truly catastrophic. I need Captain Silas Sly Sterling. Major Mallow gasped. Sterling? The man who runs a floating casino on the PT-99? The man whose crew is currently roasting a stolen pig on a deserted beach? If you put him in charge, the admiral will see a circus. Exactly, Blyton cackled. Sterling and his cutthroats will run wild. They'll destroy themselves right in front of the admiral. I'll be tucked away in a hospital bed, looking pathetic and innocent, while Sterling gets court-martialed into the next century. Mallow, call the medic. Tell them I've had a stomach event. Chapter 2. The Pirate King takes the throne. Captain Silas Sterling was a man of effortless charm and questionable ethics. He was currently lounging on the deck of the PT-99, watching his executive officer, Lieutenant Percy Pringle, struggle to open a coconut with a wrench. Easy, Percy, Silas drawled. The coconut didn't do anything to you. It's the war that's the enemy. The war is fine, Captain, Percy squeaked, his knees knocking together in a rhythmic percussion of anxiety. It's the Commodore I'm worried about. He's been quiet, too quiet. It's like the eye of a hurricane. Only the hurricane wears a khaki uniform and hates us. Suddenly, a siren wailed. A messenger arrived, panting. Captain Sterling, the Commodore! He's been struck down. He's appointed you acting base commander. Silas blinked. Me? In charge of the whole outpost? Percy, do you hear that? The fox has been given the keys to the henhouse. Oh, no, Percy moaned. We're doomed. We're going to be executed. I'm too young for a firing squad. I haven't even finished my stamp collection. An hour later, Silas and his crew of scallywags, Digger, Fingers, and Cookie, were standing in Blyton's office. Silas was behind the desk, his feet up on a stack of highly classified folders. All right, boys, Silas announced. The Commodore is sick. That means we're running the show. Fingers, get the petty officer's sinks fixed. Use some of that moonshine Cookie's been brewing. Digger, those garter belts the nurses want, find them. I don't care if you have to knead them out of fishing line. Hey, Skip, Fingers said, holding up a phone. The base laundry is asking for instructions, and the radar tower says they've spotted a sub. Tell the radar tower to track it and stay calm, Silas said. As for the laundry, tell them to start a spring festival. And tell the boys on the base that as of now, the bar is open 24 hours. We need to boost morale. 1. The base transformed. Within hours, Outpost Zodiac looked less like a military installation and more like a Caribbean resort. There was music, there were drinks, and there was a distinct lack of saluting. In the hospital, Blyton watched through the window, his heart soaring with malicious joy. Look at it, Malo. It's a riot. It's a Roman orgy. Grimsby is going to hang him from the yardarm. Chapter 3. The Vizier and the Vault. Just as Silas was settling into his role as the King of Azure Mist, a new complication arrived. A message from the admiral. Grand Vizier Zulfikar of Marami is arriving. His island is under threat. Treat him with the highest honors. He travels with his 3 daughters, the princesses. Silas groaned. A vizier? Percy, we need to look like a navy again. Hide the moonshine. Put some pants on, Cookie. The vizier arrived on a gilded transport, looking like he had stepped out of a fairy tale. He was accompanied by 3 veiled women and a mountain of luggage. I am Karim Zulfikar, the vizier announced, looking at Silas with suspicion. Are these men to be trusted with my cargo? My daughters are the light of my life. If a single man dares to debase their dignity, he shall answer to my scimitar. Wowie, wow, wow, Fingers whispered, catching a glimpse of a silk-clad ankle. I heard that, the vizier roared. Silas stepped forward, smooth as silk. Forgive him, your highness. In our country, wowie is a traditional naval greeting. It means, may your sails be full of favorable winds. The vizier softened. An interesting custom. Very well. I wish to see your PT boat. I have heard they are fast, like the desert wind. Silas took the vizier out on the PT-99. To Silas's horror, the vizier insisted on steering. The boat veered wildly across the bay, narrowly missing a supply barge. Smashing, the vizier cried. I shall buy 10 of these. Meanwhile, back at the base, Digger had a problem. He had fallen in love with Princess Siri, the vizier's youngest daughter. Under the cover of darkness, he borrowed the PT-99 to take her for a moonlight cruise. Digger, you idiot, Silas hissed when he found out. The vizier will have our heads, and the admiral is on his way. Silas had to juggle a furious vizier. He dressed Cookie and Fingers in veils to act as decoy princesses during the official dinner, leading to a disastrous dance performance where Fingers' combat boots kept peeking out from under his silk robes. Commodore Blyton, seeing the chaos from his hospital bed, decided to recover just in time to show the admiral the disaster. He dragged the admiral to the air raid shelter, where he claimed the hula girls were hidden, but Silas was faster. He had moved the girls and the vizier to the laundry shack. When Blyton burst into the shelter, he found only a group of confused Seabees doing a fire drill. Blyton, Admiral Grimsby barked. You're raving. You're suffering from combat fatigue. You're seeing hula girls in every closet. Get back to bed. Chapter 4. The Laughing Gas Gambit. Blyton was humiliated. He decided to take it out on the weakest link, Percy Pringle. He convened a fitness board to have Percy stripped of his rank for general incompetence. And being a public nuisance, Percy's going to the brig. Skip, Digger reported. Blyton's got a list of every mistake he's made since 1941. Silas leaned back. We need to change the Commodore's mood. He's too grumpy. He needs to see the world through rose-colored glasses. Or at least, through a cloud of nitrous oxide. The crew stole a tank of laughing gas from the dental clinic. They rigged it to the ventilation system of Blyton's office. All right, Silas whispered. Fingers, give him a blast when I give the signal. Silas entered the office with a bouquet of goldenrod. Commodore, a gift. To show there are no hard feelings about the court-martial. Blyton sneezed. Goldenrod? I'm allergic. Get it out. Open the window. The window was stuck. Fingers pumped the gas into the room. Within minutes, Blyton was leaning back in his chair, giggling uncontrollably. Chucky Wucky! You're such a funny little man, Silas. Why are we so angry? Let's cancel the fitness board. Let's give everyone a promotion. That's the spirit, Pingy Wingy. Silas laughed. But then, the real tragedy struck. A group of enemy planes appeared on the horizon. A real air raid. Percy, still terrified of the fitness board, ran out into the middle of the airfield, waving his arms and accidentally firing a flare gun. The flare blinded the lead enemy pilot, who veered off and crashed into the bay. The admiral, watching from a bunker, was stunned. "Look at that man." Blyton, still high on gas, wandered out and tried to dance with the admiral. "Isn't it lovely, Steel Gut? The explosions are like fireworks." The admiral turned to Silas. "Blyton is clearly insane. But Pringle? That man is a combat genius. Fitness board cancelled. Give him a medal." Chapter 5. Gus and the Grand Larceny. The final straw for Blyton was the payroll. $62,000 in unmarked bills was arriving for the base. Blyton, determined to trap Silas once and for all, accidentally let it slip that the money would be transported via a shortcut through the jungle. "I'll leave my wallet with the money in it," Blyton told Mallow. "They'll swipe it and then, wham, grand larceny." But Silas had a different problem. A local monitor lizard, a 6-foot beast named Gus, had developed a taste for Percy's peanut butter sandwiches. Gus had wandered onto the base and, in a moment of reptilian confusion, had swallowed Blyton's discarded wallet. "Skip!" Percy screamed. Gus ate the Commodore's ID. And the payroll. "He didn't eat the Commodore, did he?" Digger asked hopefully. "No, just the money." Blyton arrived with the police, ready to arrest Silas for the theft. "Where's the money, Sterling? I know you have it." "Actually, sir," Silas said, pointing to the swamp. "Sidney has it. He's the new mascot. He's very protective of the base funds." Blyton didn't believe in Sidney until the lizard crawled into the middle of the court-martial, burped, and spat out a soggy $100 bill with Blyton's initials on it. "He's a thief!" Blyton screamed. "Arrest the lizard." "You can't arrest a lizard, Commodore," Silas said coolly. "Besides, we found the rest of the money. It was stashed in that old decorative cannon on the lawn. To prove it, Silas lit the fuse of the cannon, which Percy had accidentally loaded with the payroll bag to hide it. The cannon roared, and $62,000 in small bills rained down over the entire base like green confetti. The admiral, arriving just in time to see the money rain, was delighted. "A bonus! A victory celebration! Blyton, you're a genius. How did you know we needed a morale boost?" Blyton fell to his knees, clutching a handful of damp 20s. "Why me?" he sobbed. "Why is it always me?" Silas Sterling tipped his cap. "That's the Navy for you, Commodore. Some days you have the wind in your sails. And some days you have an alligator in your office." As the sun set over the archipelago of azure mist, the sounds of laughter and the clinking of glasses drifted from the PT-99. The war was far away, the Commodore was in a straitjacket, and Silas Sterling was, for one more night, the king of the scoundrels. Epilogue. A postcard from the brink. Weeks later, Silas received a postcard from a sanitarium in the hills. "Dear Acting Commander Sterling," it read. "Having a wonderful time. The walls are padded, the nurses are kind, and there isn't an alligator in sight. Please excuse the ink blots. My martini spilled. Ever so fondly, Barnaby." Silas smiled and handed the card to Percy. "See, Percy? Everything worked out. Now, go tell Cookie we need more ice. I think I see another admiral's ship on the horizon, and we've got a base to run." Percy sighed, adjusted his oversized helmet, and tripped over a bucket. Aye, Captain. But if a vizier shows up tomorrow, I'm joining the French Foreign Legion." The end. The Chaos of Port Prayer. A novel of nautical nonsense. B. Gemini. Prologue. The Edge of Sanity. Admiral Archibald Iron Grip Grumbleton was a man whose blood pressure could be measured in kilotons. He sat behind a desk made of mahogany that had seen better days, staring at a requisition form that simply read, "Urgent, 400 pairs of silk garter belts for the nursing staff. Signed, Lieutenant Bumble." Grumbleton's left eye twitched. It wasn't a normal twitch. It was a rhythmic, Morse code style SOS to the universe. "Bumble," he bellowed, the sound echoing off the corrugated tin walls of his office at Port Purgatory. Lieutenant Barnaby Bumble, a man who once managed to trip over a shadow in an open field, scurried in. "Sir. You called, sir? I've got the garter belts on order, sir." "Snap to it. Shake a leg, you know what I mean, sir." What I know, Grumbleton hissed, is that we are in the middle of the great oceanic conflict, and my supply officer is treating the Azure Archipelago like a Victoria's Secret catalog. Do you realize the mess this base is in? The sinks in the officers' club are backing up like a geyser of regret. I'm the commanding officer, Bumble, not a plumber. B. Sir, your stomach acid. It's making that car engine sound again. Bumble whispered, holding out a bottle of white pills. Grumbleton snatched the bottle, downed 4 of them without water, and leaned back. Everything is on my shoulders. And now, the final nail. I just got word. Grand Admiral Stone-Faced Sterling is coming for a sneak inspection. Today, Bumble turned a shade of white, usually reserved for ghosts and unbaked bread. Iron Pants Sterling? Here? Oh, sir, we're doomed. If he sees the Sea Dog scoundrels and their pet pig, we're going to be stationed in the Arctic by sundown. Grumbleton looked at his reflection in a trophy he'd won for most disciplined desk arrangement in 1932. A thought began to brew. A dark, cowardly, brilliant thought. Wait a minute. If I were incapacitated, sick, near death's door, I wouldn't have to face Sterling. I could appoint an acting base commander, someone to take the fall. Sir, I'm ready to accept the supreme test. Bumble chirped, puffing out his narrow chest. Not you, you ninny, Grumbleton sneered. I need a sacrificial lamb. I need Maverick. Chapter 1. The Happy Illness. Commander Lucky Jack Maverick was currently supervising a high-stakes turtle race on the beach when the summons came. Maverick was the kind of man who could talk his way out of a sinking ship and into a promotion while still holding a cold beer. Captain sick? Maverick asked, walking into the infirmary. Grumbleton lay on a cot, draped in a sheet like a fallen Caesar. He groaned theatrically. Oh, the agony, Maverick. The tests. They're taking so many tests. I'm in bad shape. Gee. Sorry, sir, Maverick said, leaning over. Let me help you with that pillow. He proceeded to accidentally, or perhaps intentionally, smother Grumbleton's face for 3 seconds before the Admiral kicked him away. Get off. Oh, the pain, Grumbleton gasped. Maverick, I'm appointing you acting base commander, and Bumble here is your acting executive officer. Bumble's eyes lit up like a Christmas tree. Did you hear that, Skipper? I'm an executive. I'll never forget this, sir. Maverick sighed. Sir, I'm a saltwater sailor. I'm no good behind a desk. That's an order. Now get to my office and command. Grumbleton yelled, then quickly remembered he was dying. Ooh, my spleen. It's shrinking. As soon as Maverick and Bumble left, Grumbleton sat up and grinned. This is going to be the happiest illness of my life. Sterling will see Maverick's chaos, and I'll be tucked away, blameless. But Maverick had other plans. In the office, the phones were ringing. The sinks are still plugged, Commander, a voice yelled. We found the garter belts, sir. Another chirped. A German submarine is tracking our supply lines. Maverick looked at the chaos. All right, Bumble. If we're in charge, we're doing it my way. Tell the boys. Full speed ahead on the party. We're throwing a luau to welcome the Grand Admiral. And someone get those garter belts to the nurses. They've been complaining about their socks falling down for weeks. Chapter 2. The Dance of the Seven Veils. Grand Admiral Sterling arrived in a jeep that looked like it had been washed in the blood of its enemies. He stepped out, his eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of slack. Welcome to Port Purgatory, sir, Bumble shouted, saluting so hard he nearly poked his own eye out. Acting Executive Officer Bumble, at your command. Would you like a ceremonial lei? It's a native custom, sir. Sterling stared at the flower necklace. What is that gibberish, Bumble? Where is Grumbleton? In the hospital, sir. Near the end, Maverick said solemnly. But don't worry. We've prepared an inspection of the air raid shelters. What Sterling didn't know was that the Sea Dog scoundrels had turned the air raid shelter into a makeshift nightclub. There were hula dancers, a 3-piece band, and enough coconut rum to fuel a battleship. Grumbleton, watching from his hospital window, saw Sterling heading for the shelter. Yes, he's going in. Maverick is finished. Grumbleton threw on a robe and ran out, forgetting he was supposed to be dying. Admiral Sterling, you must see the shelter. It's a Roman orgy in there. Half-dressed girls and everything. Sterling opened the heavy steel door. Empty. The room was spotless. Not a girl in sight. They were currently hidden in the base laundry boilers, sweating profusely. Binghamton, Sterling roared. You're in a hospital gown, screaming about hula girls. You're delirious. You're suffering from combat fatigue. But I saw them, Grumbleton wailed. And look in this closet. He ripped open a storage closet. Inside was Nurse Wilson, in a swimsuit, hiding from the heat. Hallucinations, Maverick whispered loudly to the Admiral. He thinks he sees them everywhere. Poor man, Sterling shook his head. Back to bed, Grumbleton. That's an order. McHale, proceed with the inspection. Chapter 3. The Sultan and the Clumsy Ensign. The next week brought a new crisis. A sultan from the neighboring kingdom of Marami was arriving with his 3 daughters. The Azure archipelago was politically sensitive, and the sultan needed protection. I want 100% perfection, Grumbleton screamed at Bumble. The sultan is bringing his priceless cargo, his daughters. Maverick, you take your boat, the Thunder Guppy, and pick them up. On the Thunder Guppy, the sultan, a man with a beard that could hide a small family, looked at Maverick's crew with suspicion. Are these men to be trusted with the princesses? Absolutely, Your Highness, Maverick said. Except maybe for Bumble there. He's a work in progress. Wowie, wow, Bumble exclaimed, staring at the princesses. I mean, greetings, O exalted one. The Sultan narrowed his eyes. The next man who dares to debase the dignity of the princesses will answer to me. Naturally, Bumble immediately tried to teach the Sultan how to drive the PT boat. Within minutes, the Sultan had nearly rammed a coral reef, and Bumble had accidentally sat on the Sultan's ceremonial sword. Back at the base, Grumbleton was hosting a grand dinner. Your Highness, I trust the voyage was pleasant? Your commander Maverick is efficient, the Sultan said. But your executive officer, he is like a chicken with its head removed. Determined to save his skin, Bumble decided to borrow the PT boat later that night to take one of the princesses, Siri, for a romantic moonlight cruise. If the Sultan finds out, we're dead, Bumble told Maverick's crew. You guys have to stall the dinner. When the Sultan asked where his daughter was, Maverick panicked. She's, dressing. Yes, it's a very complicated Marami custom. Takes hours. Grumbleton, sensing a trap, stormed the girls' quarters. I know she's not in there. I'm coming in. Bumble, having run out of fuel, had to swim the princess back. He realized he couldn't get her into the dining room without being seen. So, he did what any logical naval officer would do. He dressed 2 of Maverick's burly sailors in silk veils and told them to dance. The Sultan watched as 2 hairy-chested sailors performed the traditional Marami dance. Captain Grumbleton, the Sultan said, his voice cold. My daughters are graceful. These creatures have tattoos of anchors on their bellies. Grumbleton ripped off the veils. I knew it! Imposters! You're under arrest, you phony Balinese bunnies! The Sultan was outraged. He threatened to raid Washington. Grumbleton ended the night, crying in his office, wondering if he could transfer to the infantry. Chapter 4. The Gas of Gladness. I'm calling a fitness board, Grumbleton screamed the next morning. Bumble, you're finished. I'm going to break you down to Seaman Second Class so fast your head will spin. Maverick knew he had to save his friend. The only way to stop Grumbleton is to get him in a good mood. And the only thing that gets that man in a good mood is nothing. He's a misery vortex. What about the dentist? Monty, one of the scoundrels, suggested. The skipper came back from the dentist last week high on laughing gas and gave us all 4 8 hours passes. A plan was hatched. They borrowed a tank of nitrous oxide from the infirmary and hooked it up to the air vents in Grumbleton's office. As Grumbleton prepared the paperwork to court-martial Bumble, the gas began to hiss. "Now, Bumble," Grumbleton said, his voice suddenly sounding light and airy. "You've been a very, naughty boy." Bumble blinked. "Sir? Oh, look at you. You're so cute," Grumbleton chirped, jumping up and pinching Bumble's cheeks. "You're my little Chucky Wucky." Why was I so mad? Who cares about regulations? Regulations are just paper. Grumbleton began to skip around the office. He threw the court-martial papers out the window. "Let's have a party. Let's spray the shrubs. The whole island has been invaded by Befrangipanis pies." He grabbed a fire extinguisher and began defending the base from imaginary flies. When the Grand Admiral arrived to oversee the fitness board, he found Grumbleton wearing a wastebasket on his head and trying to dance with a coat rack. "Grumbleton," Sterling yelled. "What in the name of the Great White Fleet is going on?" "Oh, here, Stoneface." Grumbleton giggled, trying to put a lei around the Grand Admiral's neck. "You're in disgrace. You're not dancing." "Why aren't you dancing?" Sterling turned to Maverick. Is he always like this?" "Combat fatigue, sir," Maverick said with a straight face. "He thinks he's a butterfly." Sterling watched as Grumbleton tried to fly off the porch and into a jeep. "Cancel the fitness board and get this man a sedative. And a cage." Chapter 5. Snappy, the Legal Eagle. Grumbleton eventually recovered, but he was more determined than ever. He decided to frame the crew for theft. He took $900 of his own money, marked the bills with his initials, and accidentally dropped his wallet near the scoundrel's shack. "The rats will take the bait," Grumbleton told his sycophantic aide, Carpenter. "And when they do, wham, brig time." However, Port Purgatory had a resident, Snappy, a 4-foot saltwater crocodile who had a fondness for Bumble's peanut butter sandwiches. Snappy saw the wallet. Snappy liked the smell of leather. Snappy ate the wallet. When Bumble found Snappy, the croc was looking particularly smug. "Skip." Snappy ate the captain's wallet. I saw the ID card sticking out of his mouth. Grumbleton arrived, ready to make his arrest. "All right, Maverick, who's got the $900? Hand it over." "Sir, I hate to say this," Maverick said, "but your money was stolen by an alligator." "An alligator? Is that a code name for you, Maverick?" Grumbleton sneered. "I'm not a fool." The case went to a military tribunal. Bumble insisted on acting as the defense attorney. "Your Honor, I demand a mistrial. The thief in question has an unhappy childhood and a craving for crunchy peanut butter." "Order," the judge yelled. "This is a court-martial, not a zoo." Maverick realized they needed the evidence. He and the crew spent 3 hours trying to lure Snappy into the courtroom. They finally succeeded by leaving a trail of sandwiches leading right to the witness stand. The courtroom fell silent as the 4-foot reptile waddled in. "There," Bumble yelled. "The key witness. Snappy, tell them the truth." Snappy hissed and proceeded to climb onto Grumbleton's lap. "Get it off me," Grumbleton screamed. "The beast! It's trying to eat my stripes." In the chaos, Snappy let out a large belch and coughed up a soggy leather mass. The judge picked it up with a pair of tweezers. "Captain Grumbleton, is this your wallet?" "Yes." "And look, the marked bills," Grumbleton yelled triumphantly. "Wait a minute," the judge said, looking at the bills. "These aren't marked with your initials, Captain. These are marked with LB. These are Lieutenant Bumble's back pay bills that you stole to use as bait." Grumbleton froze. I can explain. "I've heard enough," the judge said. "Charges against the crew are dismissed. And Captain, I suggest you return the lieutenant's money before I report this trap to the State Department." Chapter 6. The Rain of Gold. The final showdown occurred when the base payroll $62,000 in small, unmarked bills was scheduled to be picked up from the city of New Veridia. Grumbleton, hoping to finally get Maverick in trouble, ordered Bumble to pick up the money alone, specifically directing him down Saloon Road and past the gambling casino. He'll lose it, Grumbleton whispered. He's a magnet for disaster. Predictably, Bumble was distracted by a girl with a heart-shaped birthmark on her ankle and a very persuasive street magician. Within 10 minutes, the payroll bag was gone. Skip, I lost the money, Bumble sobbed. A girl, an ankle. It was a blur. Maverick knew they had to find that money before Grumbleton arrived in New Veridia to inspect the delivery. The crew scoured the city, checking every girl's ankle in every cafe, which led to several slaps and one brief high-speed chase. They finally tracked the thieves to an old warehouse, where a group of local bandits was hiding the loot in an antique bronze cannon, planning to smuggle it out of the city. Grumbleton arrived just as Maverick and his men surrounded the warehouse. Aha! I knew it! You've spent the payroll on wine and song. Suddenly, a siren blared, a practice air raid. The bandits, panicked, tried to fire the cannon to create a distraction. Boom! The cannon didn't fire a shell. Instead, it let out a massive cloud of green smoke and a literal rain of $100 bills. Thousands of dollars fluttered down from the sky like confetti. Grumbleton stood in the middle of the street, his mouth open, as money landed on his head, his shoulders, and in his pockets. It's a miracle, Monty yelled. Manna from heaven. It's the payroll, Maverick shouted. See, Captain, we were just, airing it out. To prevent mold, Grumbleton stood there, covered in $62,000, while Maverick and his men began helpfully collecting the bills. Maverick, Grumbleton whispered, his face turning a dark shade of purple. I'm going to kill you. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I'm going to kill you. Maverick smiled, tucked a stray bill into Bumble's pocket, and saluted. Full speed ahead, Captain. Full speed ahead. Epilogue. As the Thunder Guppy sailed back toward Port Purgatory, the sun setting in a blaze of orange and gold, Bumble sat on the bow, feeding a peanut butter sandwich to Snappy. You know, Skip, Bumble said, we make a pretty good team. Maverick looked back at the island, where he could just faintly see the silhouette of Admiral Grumbleton screaming at a palm tree. We do, Bumble, Maverick said, lighting a cigar. We really do. From the shore, a faint sound drifted over the water. It was the sound of Grumbleton, finally breaking. Wow, wow, wow. Garter belts. Why is it always me? And the Thunder Guppy disappeared into the mist, ready for another day of absolute, glorious chaos. The end. The Marauders of Zanzibar, a novel of tropical chaos. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Crisis and the Iron Gut. The Zanzibar archipelago was a place where the sun was always too hot, the gin was always too warm, and the commanding officer was always on the verge of a nervous breakdown. Commander Barnaby Beaver Brannigan stood in his office, his face a vibrant shade of fuchsia that matched the tropical sunset bleeding through the window slats. Wow, Brannigan whispered, his voice trembling with a mixture of awe and fury. Wow, wow, wow. Garter belts. Pringle. You are the logistics officer of this entire sector. If the nursing staff requires garter belts to keep their hosiery aloft, you don't file a triplicate form. You snap to it. You shake a leg. Oh, you know exactly what I mean. Lieutenant Percy Pringle, a man whose primary contribution to the military was the ability to trip over flat surfaces, stood at a rigid, albeit wobbling, attention. Sir, the supply lines are clogged with plasma gaskets and dehydrated rations. Garter belts are, I don't care if they have to be woven from the silk of radioactive spiders. Brannigan roared. This is a war, Pringle. Everything is on my shoulders. The weight of the world, the safety of the Zanzibar outpost, and now the structural integrity of the nurses' uniforms. Brannigan slumped into his chair, reaching for a bottle of antacids that he consumed like candy. Before he could swallow a single tablet, his aide-de-camp, a perpetually nervous youth named Carpenter, burst through the door. Sir, a priority transmission from Sector Command. High Commissioner Iron Gut Garrett is arriving today for a sneak inspection. The antacid bottle slipped from Brannigan's hand, rattling across the floor. Iron Gut Garrett? Here? Now? Have you seen the state of this place, Carpenter? The Petty Officers Club has sinks that are backing up with something that looks suspiciously like fermented swamp juice. The motor pool is running a gambling ring. And Silas Sterling's crew. Oh, don't even get me started on Captain Silas Sterling. Silas Sly Sterling was the bane of Brannigan's existence. While Brannigan obsessed over garter belts and protocol, Silas and his crew of Zanzibar marauders ran the most efficient, albeit highly illegal, salvage operation in the southern hemisphere. They lived on an island called Teratupa. Brannigan's stomach let out a groan that sounded like a dying whale. "My stomach acid could start a diesel engine," he moaned. "If I were sick, truly sick, I wouldn't have to face the commissioner. I could appoint an acting base commander." A slow, devious smile spread across Brannigan's face. It was the smile of a man who had just found a way to throw his enemies under a very large, very heavy bus. "Carpenter, I feel a fever coming on. A terrible, tropical, highly contagious fever. Call Captain Silas Sterling. Tell him I'm at death's door. Tell him he's in charge." Chapter 2. The Acting Commander's Orgy of Efficiency. Captain Silas Sterling arrived at the base hospital with the casual grace of a man who had never encountered a problem he couldn't solve with a bribe or a poker hand. Behind him trailed his usual entourage: Gus, the Greaser Gaskin, Vinnie Voltvane, and the rest of the marauders. Brannigan lay in his hospital bed, groaning with Oscar-worthy intensity. "Oh, Sterling, it's the end. I can feel the darkness closing in. The medics, they don't know what it is. I need you to take command of the base until I recover." Silas leaned over the bed, peering suspiciously at Brannigan. "Key Commander, you look like a man who's had too many spicy burritos. Are you sure you're fit to delegate?" "I'm dying, you fool." Brannigan hissed, then remembered to groan. "Take the office. Take the responsibility. Take Pringle as your executive officer. Just keep the base running." "If you say so, sir," Silas said, a twinkle in his eye. "We'll give it the old Sterling touch." 3 hours later, the Zanzibar outpost had been transformed. The old Sterling touch involved turning the Petty Officers Club into a high-stakes casino, authorizing the construction of an illicit distillery in the middle of the rifle range, and ensuring that every nurse on the island received their garter belts delivered by a confused but enthusiastic Gus Ginn. Silas sat behind Brannigan's massive mahogany desk, his boots up on the wood. "Pringle, get the phone. It's probably the laundry wanting to know where the gin went." Percy Pringle, now the acting executive officer, looked like he was vibrating. "Sir, High Commissioner Garrett's plane has landed. He's on his way. And the marauders have set up a hula festival in the air raid shelter." "A festival?" Silas grinned. "Good. The commissioner looks like he needs to loosen up." However, the real disaster was brewing back at the hospital. Brannigan, hearing of the chaos through his spy, Carpenter, was ecstatic. "He's doing it! Silas is destroying himself! Garrett will have him court-martialed before sunset." But Brannigan's triumph was short-lived. A nurse, Lieutenant Wilson, appeared in his room, not with medicine, but with a swimsuit. "Captain Sterling's orders. Sir, he thinks you're working too hard and sent me to take you for a swim." "A swim? I'm supposed to be dying," Brannigan shrieked. Suddenly, the door burst open. Brannigan dove under the covers. "Let him come! Let him see the mess you've made!" Garrett, a man with a jawline that could crack walnuts, marched into the room. "Brannigan, sorry to see you laid up. Sterling here tells me you've been having hallucinations." "Hallucinations?" Brannigan sat up, pointing a shaking finger at Silas. "He's the hallucination. He's turned the air raid shelter into a nightclub. There are hula girls in the laundry. He's..." "Hula girls?" Garrett looked at Silas, who shrugged innocently. "The commander's fever is quite high, sir," Silas whispered. "He thinks he sees dancers everywhere. Poor man." Brannigan lunged for the closet, tearing the door open to reveal Lieutenant Wilson in her swimsuit, who had been hiding there to avoid the commissioner. "See, a girl, in my closet." Garrett sighed, a look of profound pity on his face. "Brannigan, get back in bed. You're in no state to command. Sterling, carry on. You seem to have a firm grip on reality. Chapter 3. The Archduke and the Laughing Gas. Peace never lasted long in Zanzibar. A week later, after Brannigan had miraculously recovered, mostly out of pure spite, a new crisis emerged. The Archduke of the Floating Isles, Brannigan shouted, pacing his office. He's arriving with his 3 daughters, the princesses. We need to make a 100% impression, and that means Silas Sterling and his gang of pirates need to be nowhere near this base. Brannigan hatched a plan to send Silas on a recon mission to a deserted strip of sand called Aku Aku, but as luck, or Silas's uncanny ability to intercept radio signals would have it, the Archduke's private vessel suffered engine failure right near Aku Aku. Silas and the marauders didn't just rescue the Archduke, they became his best friends. By the time Silas's boat, the Zanzibar Queen, pulled into the main dock, the Archduke was wearing a Hawaiian shirt and Silas was smoking the royal hookah. Captain Brannigan, the Archduke announced as he stepped onto the pier. Your Captain Sterling is a magnificent host. He even let me steer his boat. I haven't had so much fun since we overthrew the usurper in the northern provinces. Brannigan's eye began to twitch. I'm delighted, Your Highness. If you'll follow me, we have a formal dinner prepared. Without hookahs, the dinner was a disaster of epic proportions. To impress the Archduke, Brannigan had ordered a cultural display which Gus Gaskin interpreted as getting the marauders to dress up in drag and perform a traditional island dance. When Brannigan realized the princesses dancing in the center of the hall were actually Goose and Vinny in coconut bras, he lost what remained of his sanity. He lunged at one of the dancers, accidentally ripping off a wig to reveal Gus's hairy face. The Archduke was horrified. You attack my daughters? You call them phony Balinese bunnies? They aren't your daughters, Brannigan screamed. They're sailors. They're thieves. The real princesses, who had been enjoying a quiet boat ride with Percy Pringle, arrived just in time to see Brannigan being restrained by his own guards. Stupid infidel, the Archduke spat, grabbing his sword and storming out. I shall report this to the High Council. You will be lucky to command a garbage scow. Chapter 4. The Ghost of the Jinxed Ship. Desperate to finally rid himself of the Sterling menace, Brannigan decided to use the most powerful weapon in the military arsenal. Superstition. The 13th patrol boat, Brannigan whispered to Carpenter. We'll convince them the Zanzibar Queen is actually the cursed PT. 13, a boat so jinxed that its previous 3 crews disappeared into thin air. He planted fake reports, changed the hull numbers in the middle of the night, and even rigged the engines to make ghostly moaning sounds. The marauders, usually brave men, were terrified. I'm telling you, Skip, Gus whimpered. The boat's haunted, the lights turn on by themselves. The engines talk, they say. They say Gus is a loser. Way, Gus, and Hedezali. Way, Gus, way, Ali say, Gus is a loser. Way, Gus, way, Gus, way, and Hedezali. Way, Gus, way, way. Nobody tells the engines what to say to me. Silas barked, though even he looked a bit pale. But Silas wasn't easily fooled. He discovered the ghostly wiring Brannigan had installed. Instead of exposing the trick, Silas decided to play along. He waited until Brannigan was asleep, then used a tank of nitrous oxide laughing gas nicked from the dental clinic. As the gas filled Brannigan's quarters, Silas and the crew dressed in glowing white sheets and haunted the commander's office. Brannigan woke up in a cloud of euphoria. He wasn't scared, he was hysterical. Oh look, it's Silas the Ghost. You're so sparkly, Silas. Give me a hug. Brannigan giggled, his usual rage replaced by a terrifying, chemical-induced joy. While Brannigan was in his happy place, Silas convinced him to sign a stack of transfer revocations and a promotional commendation for Percy Pringle. When the gas wore off, Brannigan found himself sitting on his desk, wearing a hula skirt and holding a rubber chicken, with no memory of how he had just promoted his most incompetent officer to the rank of admiral. Temporarily, until the paperwork was lost. Differente. Type. Differente. Chapter 5. The Case of the Swamp Drake. The final straw came when the base payroll $62,000 in small, unmarked credits went missing during a shore leave on the luxury moon of Caledonia Prime. Percy Pringle had been tasked with carrying the bag. He had, naturally, been distracted by a beautiful woman with a heart-shaped birthmark on her ankle. When he woke up from a suspicious nap, the money was gone. "I've got you now, Pringle." Brannigan crowed. "Grand larceny. Theft of government funds. You'll be making big rocks into little rocks for the next 50 years. But Silas had a secret witness. During their search of the Caledonia swamps, they had encountered Barnaby, a giant, semi-intelligent swamp drake, essentially an alligator, with a sense of humor. Barnaby had been spotted chewing on a very familiar-looking canvas bag. The court-martial was a circus. Brannigan presided as judge, jury, and executioner. "We have no evidence," Silas shouted, standing up for Percy. "Because the evidence is currently inside the digestive tract of a reptile, an alligator." "You expect this court to believe an alligator stole the payroll?" Brannigan laughed. "Bring this witness in. I dare you," Silas whistled. The doors to the courtroom creaked open, and the marauders hauled in a 10-foot Barnaby the swamp drake on a reinforced trolley. The creature let out a low, guttural hiss that sounded remarkably like a burp. "He's not stupid," Percy cried. "He just had an unhappy childhood. Tell them the truth, Barnaby." The swamp drake, lured by the scent of Percy's mother's famous peanut butter sandwiches, suddenly lunged forward. Brannigan, in his terror, fell backward over his chair. As the reptile snapped its jaws, it coughed up a soggy, half-digested ID card. "My ID card," Brannigan shrieked. "He ate my wallet too. If he has your ID card..." "Commander," Silas noted with a grin, "then he must have been the one who found your wallet after you dropped it while trying to frame my men." The High Commissioner, who had been watching the proceedings with a look of utter exhaustion, stood up. "Binghamton, you've turned this base into a petting zoo. Pringle is cleared. The money is... well, the money needs to be laundered. Literally." As the marauders led Barnaby the swamp drake back to the water, Brannigan stood alone in the wreckage of his courtroom. "Why me?" he whispered to the empty air. "Why is it always me?" From the docks, the sound of the Zanzibar Queen's engines roared to life. Silas Sterling and his crew were heading back to Teratupa, their pockets full of salvaged credits, their hearts full of mischief, and their garter belts finally delivered. The Zanzibar outpost remained a place of chaos. But as long as Silas was at the helm and Brannigan was losing his mind, it was the most entertaining place in the galaxy. The End. The Maverick Chronicles, Chaos at Station 0G. Prologue. The most dangerous place in the galaxy. Station 0G was not the jewel of the United Planets. In fact, if the galaxy were a crown, Station 0G was the bit of gum stuck to the underside of the velvet cushion. Floating on the ragged edge of the Krell neutral zone, the station was a rusted, sprawling labyrinth of pressurized pipes, malfunctioning gravity plates, and air that tasted faintly of recycled socks and ozone. At the center of this administrative nightmare sat Commander Barnaby Blaster. Blaster was a man whose blood pressure was currently high enough to power a small scout ship. He was a man of rules, a man of regulations, and unfortunately, a man in charge of the most incompetent collection of space misfits in the known universe. The Asteroid Rats of Starship XR-73. Chapter 1. The Garter Belts of Galactic War. Commander Blaster paced his office, his boots clicking rhythmically on the metallic floor until he tripped over a loose floorboard. "Maverick," he screamed into the intercom. "Captain Maverick, get your lazy. Asteroid drifting hide in here this instant." Captain Max Meteo Maverick entered the office with the grace of a man who had never seen a regulation he couldn't ignore. He was followed by his executive officer, Lieutenant Pip Pringle, a man whose primary contribution to the war effort was the ability to trip over his own shadow in a vacuum. "You called, Commander?" Maverick asked, leaning casually against a rack of highly sensitive thermal detonators. "Maverick, I've had it. I just got word from the supply depot. The nursing staff on the medical frigate. The Florence is threatening a strike. They need supplies. Maverick, urgent, vital supplies. Plasma, antibiotics, Maverick guessed. Garter belts, Bluster shrieked. Synthetic, adjustable, lace-trimmed garter belts. You're the logistics officer here, Maverick. If the nurses want to look like they're in a 20th century noir film while they're stitching up laser burns, you snap to it. Shake a solar sail. Move. Before Maverick could reply, the terminal on Bluster's desk turned red. A message flashed. Urgent. Grand Admiral Steel Glaze Sterling arriving for sneak inspection. Bluster's face turned a shade of purple, usually reserved for dying stars. Steel Glaze Sterling? The man who demoted his own mother for having a dusty mantelpiece? He's coming here? Now, Maverick, look at this place. The sinks in the petty officer's lounge are backing up with synthetic slime. The gravity is set to heavy Jupiter in the mess hall, and I have a crew that looks like they were recruited from a galactic pirate convention. Bluster clutched his stomach. My acid levels could melt through a hull. Maverick, I can't face him. I'll die. I'll literally combust. An idea, dark and devious, began to form in Bluster's frantic mind. Wait. If I was sick, if I were in the medbay with lunar flu, I could appoint an acting base commander. Someone Sterling would hate. Someone who would fail so spectacularly that Sterling would be too busy court-martialing them to notice my administrative failures. He looked at Maverick. He looked at the bumbling Pringle. Maverick, Bluster said, his voice suddenly oily. I feel a terrible chill. My sensors indicate a total system failure of my gallbladder. I am officially declaring myself unfit for command. Congratulations, Captain. You are now the acting commander of Station 0G. Maverick grinned. Oh, Commander, you're going to regret this. I mean, you're going to get well soon. Chapter 2. The Maharaja and the Moon Dancers. The transition of power was instantaneous. Within 20 minutes, Maverick had moved his collection of illegal moonshine stills and card tables into the command center. Lieutenant Pringle was sitting in the commander's chair, wearing the headset upside down. Everything is under control, Captain, Pringle squeaked. Don't worry about it, Pip, Maverick said, feet up on the holographic display. Suddenly, the long-range scanners picked up a distress signal. It was the Maharaja of Silos, a high-value diplomat from a neutral system, whose luxury transport had been forced down on the nearby desert moon of Samura. We need to rescue him, Maverick said. And, more importantly, we need to make sure he's happy. If Silos joins the Krell Empire, we're toast. Maverick and his crew, the asteroid rats, zoomed off in the XR-73. They found the Maharaja, a regal figure in flowing robes, accompanied by his 3 daughters, the princesses of Silos. The Maharaja was delighted by the rugged, rule-breaking nature of the rats. He even asked to fly the ship. May I? The Maharaja asked, eyeing the steering yoke. Be my guest, Your Highness, Maverick said. Sir, wait, Pringle shouted. The Maharaja doesn't know about the nitro button. The Maharaja hit the nitro button. The XR-73 performed a series of barrel rolls that left the Maharaja laughing and Pringle vomiting into his own helmet. When they returned to the station, Bluster, who was watching from the medbay via a hidden camera, was furious. Maverick was being hailed as a hero. The Maharaja was so impressed he invited Maverick to a state dinner. Bluster decided to sabotage the event. He sent a secret operative to recruit a group of exotic dancers to infiltrate the dinner, hoping the Maharaja's conservative sensibilities would be offended, leading to Maverick's arrest. However, Pringle accidentally intercepted the dancers and hid them in the station's emergency air raid bunker. When Admiral Sterling arrived and demanded to see the bunker, he found not hula dancers, but a very confused Maverick trying to teach the princesses of Xylos how to play poker. It's a cultural exchange, Admiral, Maverick explained, holding a full house. Sterling, surprisingly, was impressed by the initiative to integrate local customs into military life. Bluster, meanwhile, was found hiding in a closet, having been mistaken for a janitor by one of the dancers. Chapter 3. The Great Euphoria Incident. Bluster was desperate. He had failed to frame Maverick, so he turned his sights on the easiest target, Lieutenant Pip Pringle. Pringle, itontovro, pori, itontovro, Pringle, itontovro, puri, itontovro, 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 Pringle, itontovro, 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 itontovro. I'm convening a fitness board, Bluster announced, his eyebrows singed from a minor explosion in the medbay earlier that day. Pringle is a menace. He once tried to salute a robot and ended up accidentally triggering its self-destruct sequence. He's out. Maverick knew he had to save his friend. The crew of the XR-73 came up with a plan involving the station's dental clinic. They borrowed a tank of nitrous oxide euphoria gas and rigged it to the station's ventilation system, specifically the vent leading into Bluster's office where the board would meet. As Grand Admiral Sterling and the board members sat down, Sergeant Grubby Grubbs released the gas. Within seconds, the grim, grey office turned into a carnival of giggles. Commander Bluster, Sterling said, his voice high and airy. Report on the fitness of. Oh, look at your hat. It's so round. Ha 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 ha. Bluster, fully intoxicated by the gas, began to dance. I'm a little teapot, short and stout, he sang, spinning around while Pringle watched in horror. I like you, Chucky Wucky, Bluster giggled, hugging Pringle. You're my bestest friend. Let's cancel the board and go get space tacos. In the middle of this madness, a real Krell scout ship appeared on the station's monitors. Pringle, still confused but wanting to be helpful, stumbled to the weapon controls. Look, a shooting star, Pringle said, pressing a button he thought was the intercom. He accidentally fired a perfectly aimed photon torpedo that hit the Krell ship's fuel cell, causing a spectacular firework display in the void. Admiral Sterling, still giggling but witnessing the kill, was awestruck. Bluster woke up an hour later with a headache the size of a planet, only to find that Pringle had been awarded the Galactic Star for bravery and Maverick had been promoted to fleet consultant. Chapter 4. The Maharaja's Revenge. The Maharaja of Silos was staying on the station longer than expected. He had become obsessed with Maverick's ancient Earth customs. I wish to see the garter belt dance of which you spoke, the Maharaja demanded at a formal gala. Bluster, seeing another chance for a disaster, realized that the garter belts Maverick had ordered earlier were actually being used by the crew to repair the XR-73's engine seals. Sir, Sergeant Grubbs whispered to Maverick, if the Maharaja sees we're using feminine undergarments to hold a starship together, he'll think we're mocks. He'll pull the treaty. Maverick had to think fast. He dressed Pringle and two other crewmen in elaborate, veiled robes, claiming they were the mysterious moon priestesses of Sector 7. They performed a dance so clumsy and bizarre that the Maharaja was moved to tears. Such grace, the Maharaja sobbed. Such unconventional beauty. However, Bluster recognized Pringle's boots under the robe. He charged onto the dance floor, ripping the veil off Pringle. Aha! An impostor! A fraud! Bluster screamed. The Maharaja was horrified. You interrupted the sacred dance? You touched the moon priestess? You touched the moon priestess? Admiral Sterling stepped forward. Binghamton, Bluster, your behavior is unpardonable. You've insulted a head of state. Guards, escort the commander to the medbay for a psychiatric evaluation. Clearly, the stress has fractured his mind. Bluster was dragged away, screaming about garter belts and space lizards, while Maverick shared a celebratory synthetic martini with the Maharaja. Chapter 5. The Case of the Galactic Payroll. The final straw came when the United Planets sent a shipment of 62,000 intergalactic credits to the station to pay the miners. It was a massive chest of physical currency. As the Krell had jammed the digital banking network, Bluster, recently released from the psych ward, decided to set a trap. He left the payroll unattended in a corridor, hoping Maverick's crew would swipe it. When they take that money, Bluster told his assistant, I'll have them for grand larceny. I've even marked the bills with invisible stardust. But Maverick wasn't the one who found the money. Enter Sydney, Sydney was the station's unofficial mascot, a 3-foot-long, genetically enhanced space iguana with a penchant for shiny objects and Pringles peanut butter sandwiches. Sydney saw the shiny chest, dragged it into a ventilation shaft, and began eating the leather straps. When the payroll was reported missing, Bluster was ecstatic. Search the XR 73. Search Maverick's quarters. They found nothing. But then, Pringle noticed Sydney looking particularly bloated and dragging a canvas bag. "He ate the payroll," Pringle screamed. Sydney ate the commander's money. A makeshift court-martial was held in the hangar bay. Bluster insisted on prosecuting the iguana. "The lizard is a co-conspirator," Bluster shouted. "He's part of Maverick's gang of cutthroats." The trial was a disaster. Sydney refused to testify, instead choosing to sneeze a 100 credit bill directly into Admiral Sterling's face. Maverick defended the lizard. "Your Honor, Sydney is a victim of circumstance. He thought the bag was a giant space cricket." Just then, an alarm sounded. A real Krell strike force was closing in. In the confusion, Sydney crawled into a dormant ancient cannon mounted on the station's outer hull, a relic from the First Galactic War. "Get that lizard out of there," Bluster ordered. Pringle, trying to help, accidentally lit the manual fuse of the ancient cannon. Boom! The cannon fired. It didn't fire a shell, though. It fired Sydney, who was clutching the payroll bag. The iguana flew through the vacuum, ignoring the laws of physics due to his genetic enhancements, and landed squarely on the bridge of the Krell flagship's view screen. The Krell commander, seeing a flying, money-covered lizard hitting his window, assumed the United Planets had developed a terrifying new biological weapon. He panicked and ordered a full retreat. Sydney floated back toward the station, caught by Maverick's tractor beam. He was still holding the bag, which was now filled with only 42,000 credits, the rest having been incinerated or swallowed. Admiral Sterling was delighted. Using a lizard to deliver a bribe to the enemy to make them retreat? "Maverick, you're a genius. And Pringle, your aim with that ancient cannon was superb." Bluster stood there, twitching. He looked at the remaining 42,000 credits. He looked at the smoking cannon. He looked at Sydney, who was now licking a peanut butter sandwich. "Why me?" Bluster whispered to the stars. "Why is it always me?" Epilogue. The legend grows. Station 0G remained a disaster. The sink still backed up, the gravity was still temperamental, and the air still smelled like socks. But Captain Maverick and his asteroid rats were legends. They had saved the Maharaja, defeated a Krell fleet with an iguana, and driven Commander Bluster to the brink of insanity at least a dozen times. As the sun set over the desert moon of Samura, Maverick leaned back in his command chair, sipping a drink that definitely wasn't legal. "You know, Pip," Maverick said to Pringle, "I think we're going to like it here." Pringle, who was currently trying to get his head unstuck from a nutrient dispenser, gave a muffled thumbs up. High above, in his office, Commander Bluster sat in the dark, clutching a single, half-eaten garter belt. "Wow," he muttered. "Wow, wow, wow." The end. The Chaos of Tortuga Cay. The Misadventures of Captain Lucilio. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Crisis and the Admiral's Shadow. The sun over the archipelago of Tortuga Cay did not merely shine, it interrogated. It beat down on the corrugated tin roofs of the naval base with the persistence of a debt collector. Inside the headquarters, Commodore Barnaby Bellows was experiencing a physiological phenomenon he liked to call the Great Acid Reflux of 1944. "Garter belts." Bellows bellowed, his face turning a shade of purple usually reserved for tropical fruit. "You are the supply officer, Plum. If the nurses need garter belts to keep their hosiery from succumbing to gravity, you snap to it. You shake a leg. You know what I mean." Lieutenant Percival Porky Plum, a man whose uniform always seemed to be fighting a losing battle against his own clumsiness, adjusted his glasses. "Sir, I've tried every warehouse from here to Honolulu. Apparently, there's a global shortage." "It's the war, sir. Everything is on my shoulders, Bellows wailed, clutching his stomach. And now, to top off this Sunday of misery, I get word that Admiral Steel Sights Sterling is arriving today for a sneak inspection. Steel Sights. The man eats rusty nails for breakfast and court-martials his own shadow for being too slow. Bellows looked out the window at the harbor. There, bobbing peacefully, was the Seawolf, 99. The patrol torpedo boat, commanded by Captain Lucky Leo Loxley. To Bellows, Leo Loxley was not a soldier. He was a pirate who happened to have a government-funded boat. Leo's crew, a collection of card sharks, moonshiners, and beachcombers, ran the island like a private resort. The phone rang. Bellows snatched it up. Yes, this is Bellows. Who did you expect, Tokyo Rose? What? The sinks in the officers' club are backing up? I'm the commanding officer, not a plumber. Fix it yourself. He slammed the phone down and turned to Porky. Plum, my stomach acid could start a jeep. I need a way out. If I'm sick truly, medically incapacitated, I can't be blamed for the mess Sterling is about to find. I could appoint an acting base commander to take the heat. A wicked glint entered Bellows' eye. I won't appoint you, Plum. You're a boob. I'll appoint Loxley. He and his cutthroats will run wild, destroy themselves in front of the Admiral, and I'll be lying in a hospital bed, innocent as a lamb. Brilliant, sir. Plum chirped. You do look terribly ill. Shall I call the medics? Call them. Bellows collapsed into his chair, practicing his death rattle. And tell them to bring the extra strength bismuth. Chapter 2. The Acting Commander and the Tropical Orgy. The promotion of Captain Lucky Leo Loxley to Acting Base Commander was the shortest ceremony in naval history. Leo, wearing a Hawaiian shirt under his unbuttoned tunic, accepted the post with a grin that made Bellows' skin crawl. Don't worry, Commodore, Leo said, patting the sick man on the shoulder. Me and the boys will keep the seat warm. Plum here will be my executive officer. As soon as Bellows was wheeled away to the infirmary, Tortuga K transformed. The rigid military structure dissolved like sugar in hot tea. Leo moved into the big office. Porky took over the duty roster, and the crew of the Seawolf began optimizing the base's resources. By noon, the supply shed had been converted into a gambling parlor. By 2 p.m., a group of local hula dancers had been hired for cultural enrichment. Skip, whispered Gully Grover, Leo's resident fixer. The boys want to throw a little shindig tonight. We've got a batch of pineapple brandy that could peel the paint off a destroyer. Full speed ahead, Gully, Leo said, feet on the mahogany desk. However, the festivities were interrupted by a frantic Porky Plum. Admiral Sterling's plane just touched down. He's in a jeep, and he's heading here. And Leo, he's in a bad mood. Panic stations, Leo shouted. Gully, get those dancers into the air raid shelter. Porky, hide the brandy. Everyone else, look busy. If anyone asks, the music was, a radio broadcast from Melbourne. The Admiral arrived like a thunderstorm. Admiral Sterling was a man of granite and starch. He looked at the base at the lingering scent of roasted pig and the suspiciously happy sailors, and his eyes narrowed. Where is Bellows? Sterling barked. In the hospital, sir, Leo said, snapping a salute that was 5% too casual. Combat fatigue. I'm acting Commander Loxley. Tu sais non, Loxley. Sterling spat. I've heard of you. You're the one they call lucky. Let's see how lucky you are after I inspect the air raid shelters. Leo's heart skipped. The hula dancers were currently occupying the primary shelter. He had to distract the Admiral. The shelter, sir? Oh, it's quite dull. Wouldn't you rather see the base laundry? We've pioneered a new way to starch collars. Chapter 3. The Vizier's Dilemma. Just as the Admiral was about to discover the hidden party, a secondary crisis erupted. A message arrived. The Grand Vizier of Maradish, a vital ally in the region, had his transport plane forced down near a remote island. Loxley, Sterling ordered. Forget the laundry. Take your boat, rescue the Vizier and his 3 daughters, and bring them here. If a single hair on a princess's head is harmed, I'll have you scraping barnacles in Alaska. The sea wolf roared to life. Leo and his crew reached the island of Samura just as the sun began to set. They found the Grand Vizier, a man of immense dignity and even more immense luggage, waiting on the beach with 3 veiled princesses. "Greetings, O exalted ruler," Leo said, bowing. The Vizier looked at the sea-wolf skeptically. "Is this vessel intended to transport royalty? It smells of fish and diesel." "It's the smell of freedom, Your Highness," Porky Plum added, trying to look professional and failing. On the return trip, tragedy nearly struck. One of the princesses, bored by the journey, asked to steer the boat. Leo, ever the charmer, allowed it. The result was a zigzagging course that nearly capsized a supply barge. Back at Tortuga Cay, Bellows had miraculously recovered from his illness the moment he heard the Vizier was coming. He wanted the credit. He organized a grand dinner excluding Leo's crew. "I will handle the diplomacy," Bellows sneered. "Loxley, go back to your boat." But the Vizier insisted on Leo's presence. The dinner was a disaster of cultural misunderstandings. Bellows, trying to be oriental, accidentally insulted the Vizier's ancestors while trying to praise his soup. To make matters worse, Leo's crew had snuck into the kitchen to help with the service, leading to a scene where Gully Grover, disguised as a waiter, accidentally spilled a tureen of gazpacho into Bellows' lap. "This is an outrage," Bellows screamed. "One of these princesses is a fake. I can tell. That one over there is wearing Navy-issue boots under her robes." He lunged at a princess, only to realize he had snatched the veil off the Vizier's eldest daughter. The Vizier stood up, trembling with rage. "You have debased the dignity of my house. I shall complain to your president." Chapter 4. Laughing Gas and the Fitness Board. Following the Vizier incident, Bellows was determined to end the career of Porky Plum, whom he blamed for everything. He convened a fitness board to prove Plum was mentally unfit for service. "He's a menace," Bellows told the board. "He once torpedoed a garbage scow because he thought it was a camouflage submarine." Leo knew he had to save his friend. He came up with a plan involving the base dentist's supply of nitrous oxide laughing gas. "If Bellows is in a good mood," Leo whispered to the crew, "he might cancel the hearing. We just need to get him to inhale a little." Joy. They rigged the ventilation in Bellows' office to a tank of laughing gas. When the admiral arrived to oversee the board, Leo triggered the valve. The transformation was terrifying. Bellows, usually a man of perpetual gloom, began to giggle. Then he began to roar. "Oh, Porky," Bellows laughed, slapping the table. "You're not a boob. You're a porky worky. I love you. I love everyone. Why are we fighting a war? Let's all go for a swim." The admiral stared in horror. "Bellows, have you lost your mind?" "I've found it, Admiral," Bellows shouted, dancing on his desk. "I've found my inner child. Look at me. I'm a seagull." He began flapping his arms and squawking. The hearing was cancelled, but not for the reason Leo hoped. The admiral declared Bellows was suffering from tropical hysteria and ordered him back to the hospital. Plum was saved, but Leo was now stuck managing a Commodore who thought he was a bird. Chapter 5. The Case of the Missing Payroll. The final straw came when the base payroll $62,000 in cash disappeared. Porky Plum had been assigned to transport the money from the airfield, but he had been distracted by a local girl with a heart-shaped birthmark on her ankle. "I was mugged, Skip," Porky cried. "A man in a mask took the bag." Bellows, finally sober from the laughing gas and looking for blood, pounced. "Larceny. Grand larceny. I knew it. Loxley and his thieves have stolen the payroll." Leo and his crew had to find the money before they were all sent to Leavenworth. Their only lead was an alligator named Barnaby, named after the Commodore by the crew. The alligator had been seen swimming near the pier with a canvas bag in its mouth. "The alligator ate the payroll?" Leo asked, incredulous. "Or he's just holding it for ransom," Gully suggested. A chaotic chase through the town ensued. Leo's crew, Bellows, and the admiral all converged on a local tavern where the thief was rumored to be hiding. It turned out The mugger was actually a local gambler who had used the alligator as a distraction. In the climax, Leo found the bag stashed inside an old ceremonial cannon on the town square. Bellows, trying to seize the evidence, accidentally tripped the firing mechanism. Boom! The cannon fired, not a ball, but a cloud of green paper. $62,000 rained down over the harbor like confetti. "My money!" Bellows shrieked, diving into the water. "My career, it's blowing away." Leo watched from the pier, lighting a cigar. Admiral Sterling stood beside him, watching Bellows splash around like a panicked penguin. "Loxley," the Admiral said, "you're a scoundrel, a pirate, and a headache. But you found the money." "Just lucky, sir," Leo said with a wink. "Get that man out of the water." Sterling sighed, pointing at Bellows. "And someone get me a drink." This island is insane. As the sun set over Tortuga Cay, the crew of the Seawolf gathered on their boat. They had survived the Admiral, the Vizier, and the Laughing Gas, and as Porky Plum accidentally knocked the Admiral's hat into the ocean with a stray boat hook, Leo just laughed. "Welcome to the Navy, boys," Leo said. "Full speed ahead. The chaos of Station Zenith." 9. A novel of nautical nonsense and bureaucratic blunders. Chapter 1. The Garter Bell Crisis. The humidity on Station Zenith. 9 was thick enough to chew, but it was nothing compared to the density of Director Barnaby Blood Pressure Barnswallow's rising temper. Barnswallow was a man who lived his life in a permanent state of high alert. His face a shade of crimson that suggested he was constantly 5 seconds away from a steam whistle explosion. "Wow, wow, wow, wow." Barnswallow barked, pacing the confines of his steel-walled office. He turned his glare toward Lieutenant Silas Maverick, the station's most relaxed and therefore most infuriating officer. "Garter belts." "Maverick, you are the supply director here. If the medical research team needs garter belts for their whatever they do with them, you snap to it. Shake a leg. You know what I mean." Silas Maverick leaned against the filing cabinet, adjusting his aviators. "Director, we're in the middle of a deep-sea research mission. I'm not sure the hosiery logistics are at the top of the priority list. Everything is on my shoulders." Barnswallow shrieked. "And now, to top it all off, I just got a message. Commissioner, Iron Jaws Sterling is arriving today for a sneak inspection." Iron Jaws. Do you realize what a mess this place is? The sinks in the officers' club are backing up, the research staff is sunbathing on the radar dish, and you're standing there looking like you're on a permanent vacation. The phone on the desk jingled. Barnswallow snatched it up. "Hello? Yes, this is Director Barnswallow. Who did you expect? The Mermaid of Manhattan? The sinks are backing up? So what? I'm the director, not a plumber. My stomach acid could start a cold engine. Leave me alone." He slammed the phone down and clutched his chest. An idea, a devious, brilliant, cowardly idea, began to form in the dark recesses of his panicked mind. "Silas," Barnswallow said, his voice suddenly dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "If I'm sick, I have to appoint an acting station director, someone to handle the commissioner." Maverick straightened up. "Sir, I am ready to accept the supreme test." "Not you, Maverick. You're a pirate, a cutthroat." Barnswallow paused. Then a wicked grin spread across his face. "Actually, yes. You. If you and your band of miscreants are in charge when Sterling arrives, you'll run wild. You'll destroy yourselves right in front of him." "It's brilliant." Barnswallow collapsed onto his sofa with the grace of a falling piano. "I'm dying. Call the medic. Silas Maverick is in charge. May God have mercy on the plumbing." Chapter 2. The Reign of King Silas. The transition of power was instantaneous. Within 20 minutes, Director Barnswallow was tucked safely away in the infirmary, and Station Zenith 9 had undergone a radical cultural shift. Silas Maverick sat at the director's desk, his boots up on the mahogany. Standing before him was Sub-Lieutenant Percival Percy Pringle, a man whose earnestness was matched only by his staggering inability to perform basic physical tasks without injuring himself. "Me? Acting station director?" Silas asked. stifling a laugh. "And Percy, you're the acting executive officer. Oh boy, did you hear that, Skipper?" Percy beamed, accidentally knocking over a bust of the station's founder. "You'll never regret this." "I know I won't," Silas said. "But the plumbing might." The next few hours were a whirlwind of efficiency. The garter belts were found and dispatched to the nurses' quarters. Though Maverick suspected the sailors were using the extras as slingshots, the sinks were still clogged, but Silas solved that by declaring the officers' club a wet zone where standing water was part of the decor. The crew, a group of lovable rogues known as Maverick's Marauders, immediately set up a makeshift casino in the air raid shelter. There were hula dances, tropical drinks served in hollowed-out sonar buoys, and enough loud music to be heard on the mainland. "Full speed ahead, boys," Silas shouted over the intercom. "If the commissioner wants an inspection, we'll give him something to look at." But the party was cut short. Percy burst into the office, his uniform covered in what looked like peanut butter. "Skip! The commissioner's plane just landed. He's on his way over in a jeep." "I enjoy Sterling." Silas jumped up. "He's here? Hide the girls. Put them in the bomb shelter. Hide the booze. Percy, look official. Put on a tie, even if it's around your waist." Chapter 3. The Sultan and the Iguana. Just as the station was reaching a fever pitch of panic, a secondary crisis arrived. A luxury hovercraft docked at the station, carrying none other than the Grand Vizier of Zandor and his 3 daughters. "Greetings, O exalted ruler," Silas said, bowing low as the Vizier stepped onto the dock. "I am Commander Silas Maverick. We are here to serve you." The Vizier looked at the station, specifically at a sailor, trying to hide a tray of martinis behind a palm tree. "Is this a military outpost or a circus?" "A bit of both, Your Highness." Percy piped up, accidentally stepping on the Vizier's ceremonial robe. "Welcome to Zenith, 9. We have an old native custom here." "Wowie wow wow wow." "Like a chicken?" the Vizier asked, horrified. The dinner that followed was a master class in disaster. To keep the Vizier occupied while they hid the evidence of their party from the impending commissioner, Silas encouraged the Vizier's daughters to perform a traditional Zandorian dance. Meanwhile, Ban Swallow, watching from the infirmary window, was livid. He had seen the hula girls being moved to the bomb shelter. He knew Maverick was framing the illness to his advantage. "I've got them," Ban Swallow hissed to his aide, Carpenter. "Sterling is going to the bomb shelter. He's going to find the dancers, and Maverick will be finished." But Silas was one step ahead. He had moved the dancers to the laundry room. When Ban Swallow burst into the bomb shelter with Commissioner Sterling, expecting to find an orgy of decadence, they found nothing but a group of sailors holding a very intense, very quiet fire drill. "Director Ban Swallow," Sterling said, his voice like grinding stones. "Why are you running around in a seaman's uniform screaming about hula girls?" "They were here, I swear," Ban Swallow cried. "Maverick is a wizard. He's a demon." "Get back to bed, Ban Swallow," Sterling ordered.